It was all only 1 week ago when the Cropdusters thumped the Bethesda Big Train 10-4 at First Responders Field, but it seems like that mojo that the Dusters displayed on June 5th has all but vanished. Olney has dropped 2 straight and was nearly no hit last night in a shutout loss to the Senators. For the Big Train, it's a different story, winning 3 straight and racing up the standings. Someone called George R.R. Martin, because tonight's tune is a song of ice and fire. Here at Shirley Povich Field, I'm Nick King, and to my right is Ben Gurwitch. A little Game of Thrones reference, but it's been anything but easy going for the Cropdusters. It's been a non-stop war, and it seems like it's been just with itself.
Yeah, their offense has been similar to the long night, the straight darkness, not a lot of, like you said, all ice, no fire for the Dusters, and it's been a rough go of it these last couple games. They were able to pull it out against the South County Braves in that game. They put up 6 in the first 2 innings. It really seemed like their offense was going to be clicking. They were able to pull out that game, but even in that one, they didn't necessarily fill up the box score after that. And then the 2 games that have followed, it's just been, at bats that are below the talent of these hitters.
Olney has not led for 18 consecutive innings. They trailed or were tied with the D.C. Grays just 2 days ago up until the 12th inning. So it's actually been 21 straight innings, Ben, where the Cropdusters have not led in a ball game. And that's been kind of the story, is just the offensive inconsistency. We saw some big booms in the first 2 innings against the Braves just 3 days ago. But since then, a majority of the lineup has just gone silent.
Baseball's a weird game, and when you're playing every day, narratives are shaped and formed, and that's just kind of how baseball works, and it's something that the players are aware of. So even a 2-game skid feels very big. It's gotten to the point where it's already reached a level of you do not want to continue this lack of offensive production, and yeah, it's like you talked about. They hit those. They had the power. We saw some good swings yesterday from especially Coy Swanson. He actually led off the game with a deep flyout. But after that, just at bats, like I said earlier, that the hitters of this quality are selling themselves short by swinging first pitch and grounding a ball out to the second baseman and extending their zone on counts that in their favor. Sometimes you just got to go back to the basics and remember what it means to be ahead of a count and take advantage of that.
It's been rough going for the Cropdusters offensively. On the pitching mound, it's been up and down for Olney. A guy that we're familiar with taking the bump tonight for the Cropdusters in Ryan O'Bourne. And he's trying to do exactly what has not been done in the past few games, allowing outside of the D.C. Grays contest, the Cropdusters rotation has been relatively inconsistent outside of a few key arms. O'Bourne, a key spot tonight against a Big Train team that comes in steaming hot. And why don't we jump right into our lineups? We've already hinted at it. Starting with the Cropdusters, leading off and playing second base, it's number 45, Aiden Fry. Batting second, traditionally a second leadoff, Ben, it's Brian Scott, the center fielder, one of the league team leaders, rather, in batting average. He gets moved up in the lineup tonight. Behind him is Roan Klein, followed by, in his debut for his 4th season with the Cropdusters, number 99, Jimmy Kirk. Yes, he's back. He's DHing tonight, followed by Austin Stalker, the first baseman in the 5-hole. In the 6th spot, it's Sakai Hawkins, who last time we saw him against the Grays came up clutch for this team with 2 doubles late in the contest, ended up knocking in the game-tying run in the bottom of the 9th. Followed by Onel Santiago Cruz in the 7th spot, Parker Redden, the catcher, in the 8-hole, and Andrew Kell, the right fielder, rounding out the lineup. And Ben, why don't you give us the lineup for the Bethesda Big Train?
So for this Bethesda Big Train lineup, we have Alex Peltier batting first, playing center field. Batting second, playing shortstop, Brennan Wright. Third, and in right field, is Peyton Steele. Batting fourth at third base, Logan Ponnett. Batting fifth at first base, Emilio Gonzalez. And the DH for the day, batting sixth, Matthew Wesley. And the bottom of the order is filled out with Parker Corbin at second, Josh Skorowski at left, and Dylan Murphy at catcher. And going back to the Cropduster lineup, I think it is pretty relevant and interesting to talk about that for the first time, it really has been shaken up. And, Zakai Hawkins was really hot in the Grays. He started yesterday at DH, and he's getting another start today, trying to feed the hot hand. But also Brian Scott, who's been really good in the 9-hole. Andrew Kell, who's been batting either 1 or 2, struggling. And they made the change of bringing up the hot hitter. So I think, Coach Leader, he wants to win, and he's doing what he can to make it possible while still, giving all the guys chances to play.
He really is. A couple guys that have been missing from the lineup that we might as well alert you where they are. Charlie Buckles is out, Ben, for the second straight game, and he's got a good reason.
We wish him luck. He is playing in a draft league down in Florida. And, of course, the draft is, I believe it's a month away. I think July 13th, 14th, so exactly a month from now. So I think the hope is for him that he balls out there, which we've seen in just limited sample size that he has the ability to do, and then maybe messes around and gets a draft pick.
We've heard word that he will not be back before the draft concludes. So at minimum, Charlie Buckles is gone for the next month. And if you were thinking MLB season, you'd be disappointed, but you'd be optimistic because you still have about 120 more games with that player. Here, that's about 2/3 of the season, missing one of your best arms and one of your best left-handed bats. So a big blow for the Cropdusters, but stepping in is Jimmy Kirk, who is a longtime veteran for this team.
Kirk, in his 4th year with the Dusters, and before we even get into his stats, I've only heard incredible things about the character of him. Coach Evans called him like a son to the coaches, and that's, quite the statement. But Kirk, in his Cropduster career, over at 1,000 OPS, and I think what was really important is that he was talking about it with us. For the first 2 years, he had a great Cropduster season. He wasn't able to turn it into a good Millersville year. Last 2 seasons, though, he's been able to turn an incredible year for the Cropdusters into an amazing year as well at Millersville. And, it just speaks for itself. He's yet to have an OPS under 1,000 as a Cropduster each year.
And if any team needs a bat right now, it might be Olney. Jimmy Kirk led the Cropdusters in batting average and home runs last year, so a key bat coming back for the Cropdusters. It's going to take a lot to beat this Bethesda team, who comes in red hot, winning 3 straight. They've been called by Washington Times journalist Tom Lavero the Yankees, quote unquote, of the Cal Ripken League. And the Cropdusters have fared well against them in the past few years. Split the season last year. This year they're up 1-0, but against the team coming in red hot in Bethesda and a nice cold team in the Cropdusters on the road here at Shirley Povich Field, it's going to be a tough challenge. We're going to pause temporarily for our national anthem, which will be sung, it looks like, Ben, by a choir. Live performance here. We'll pause. Sorry for the delay. Preparations here a little bit slow. First pitch going to start about 5 minutes late here from Shirley Povich Field. Cropdusters will lead off this ball game. Olney has dropped 2 straight, as we already talked about. Big Train coming in on a 3-game win streak. Pitching battle, it's Ryan O'Bourne for the Cropdusters versus Jack Ketchum for the Bethesda Big Train. Ketchum has appeared in 1 game so far this season, pitched just 1 inning, allowed 1 run and 1 hit, walked 2 batters, struck out 1. That's a 9 ERA. He works with a fastball around 88 miles an hour, a changeup in the high 70s to low 80s, slider, similar velocity as well. And if the Cropdusters, Ben, are going to put forth a lineup that they trust the most, you have some bats in that lineup, a majority of them in this lineup tonight, going from Scott to Klein to Hawkins, and then, of course, Jimmy Kirk. Some big bats in here for the Cropdusters in a big contest against their crosstown rivals. And just surveying the field, Ben, we have a distance marker for left at 330 feet, but nothing for center and right. But all things considered, it looks like a relatively shallow outfield.
That it does. With a huge center field batter's eye, as far as I can tell, it looks like you have to hit it over, not one of those, there's a line. But still, especially look at right field, and that's something that the big lefties on this team are looking for, meaning Austin Stalker and Roan Klein. In particular, looking to kind of pop a ball over the yard. And yeah, I'm interested in how this bottom of the order will function today. Angel Santiago Cruz back in the starting lineup. Parker Redden, who has really yet to get going. Andrew Kell has shown glimpses, but he too has not really gotten going yet for the Dusters.
It's Aiden Fry leading things off for the Cropdusters here in the top of the first. 84 degrees here at first pitch. Ketchum from the windup at zone. Fastball outside, 1-0. Fry comes into tonight batting .250 in 3 games played. He's recorded 3 hits and 12 at-bats, 2 of them being doubles. Fastball bounces in the dirt. It's 2-0. Ketchum trying to locate that heater. Works from the windup. Upstairs fastball. And Aiden Fry, a quick 3 balls and no strikes to the Cropdusters second baseman. Ketchum. That one finds the zone. Fastball coats the inside part of the plate. Fry takes. It's 3-1.
Ketchum from Mississippi went to Alabama, gave up 5 runs in 1 2/3 in 4 outings, so not much.
Aiden Fry thought that fastball was outside. He started to head to first base. Home plate umpire says no, stand back in. Called strike 2, count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ketchum. Off speed hits Fry in the elbow. Cropdusters bullpen erupts with cheers. And Aiden Fry draws the opening hit by pitch, a leadoff man aboard for Olney.
Good at bat there by Fry, taking the first 3 balls. And something that we've yet to see the Cropdusters do in these last 2 games. They've kind of gone down relatively easily, but already Fry making Ketchum work.
Fry a nice lead off first. He's got 3 steals this season. It's Brian Scott in the 2-hole tonight. First pitch fastball upstairs, 1-0. Scott, one of the better hitters on this team. He's batting .300 through 3 games. 1-0 pitch. Upstairs and outside. Ketchum relying on that heater early. He's only thrown 1 breaking ball, and it's the one that hit Fry in the elbow.
Trying to find some command of the strike zone with the fastball, but just unable to do it so far.
The 2-0. Hard ground ball by Scott right up the middle. It's a base hit. Fry moves over to second, and Brian Scott has his 4th single of the season. First 2 men aboard for the Cropdusters here in the top of the first.
Scott now 4 for 11 on the year with a walk. Been an impressive start for him, and he's earned that, move up from 9 to 2.
He hit just .233 last year. So a stark contrast from his 2024 campaign here in Olney. It's Roan Klein due up for the Cropdusters. The rising sophomore hitting .313 this season. First pitch swinging right to the second baseman. Flip to right at short. Throw to first. Double play. Corbin to right to Gonzalez. And the big train turn 2 here in the top of the first. 4-6-3 for Bethesda.
Not for the first time. The double play has been hurting them recently. Yesterday, after their first base runner got on base and Cromartie, Cajun Ahern grounded into a double play, and it's just a rally killer. We've seen it kind of continuously.
First at bat of the season for Jimmy Kirk. Watches the fastball go by. It's 0-1. Klein has now hit into 2 double plays in 3 games. Nice defense there by Bethesda. Still a runner on third. It's Aiden Fry. The 0-1 to Kirk. Fastball outside. Count square 1-1. Cropdusters have made contact early. 1-1 pitch. Kirk watches the off-speed go outside. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Just shows the confidence they have in Kirk. Coming in relatively cold, unclear what he's been doing, behind the scenes, but just in terms of getting live pitching, and he's batting 4th.
Swings there, fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jimmy Kirk. First at bat of the season, hit .378 last year with 3 home runs. Trying to add both efficiency and pop to this Cropdusters lineup. 2-2 pitch to Kirk with 2 away. Fry stands on third. Catch him. Waits. He's awfully taking his time. Now goes home. 2-2 pitch. Upstairs fastball. Kirk takes. Count full 3-2. Austin Stalker waits in the on-deck circle.
Kirk has a clear 2-strike approach. He gets pretty low in the box. Just trying to fight it off.
Fights that one off. Fastball. Kirk fouls it straight back. He'll live to see another. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jack Ketchum, a little more control than we saw in his first 2 at-bats against both Fry and Scott. He's trying to pound out the Cropdusters cleanup man. 3-2. Kirk not going down easy. Fouls that one off to the right side into the trees right behind Ben and I. Still 3-2.
Ketchum working a little faster now. Kirk taking his time.
Ketchum moving quickly again. Kirk, line drive. Nice play. Corbin, throw to first. Got him. A sliding play by Parker Corbin ends the inning. Cropdusters, first 2 men get on. Both are stranded or thrown out. Scoreless first inning for the Cropdusters. Nice composure by Jack Ketchum, and the big train to get out of that no-out jam with 2 men on. They come up to the plate. It's still 0-0 here from Shirley Povich Field.
Unlucky for Olney. Everything was hit hard. Even, with the Klein double play was hit relatively hard. And then great swing there by Jimmy Kirk. Takes the fastball the other way and absolutely smacks it. Just a nice play. At second by Corbin.
All things considered, good at-bats for the Cropdusters. Scott a base hit. Fry working a full count and drawing the hit by pitch. Klein, he got nice contact on it, all things considered, drove it to the right side. It was just right to Parker Corbin, and this Bethesda defense, too experienced to not get 2 on that one. And then Jimmy Kirk, Bethesda needed a diving play to end the inning. Cropdusters come up scoreless, but tally a hit. It's more efficient than we've seen in the past few games.
Yeah, and Jack Ketchum sort of dodged the bullet there. Leadoff hit by pitch. Scott puts a nice swing on it, first and second, nobody out, and then, he finds a way to throw strikes, but some decent swings from the Cropdusters. The double play, of course, was relatively fortunate. Klein just has to find a way to start lifting the ball. He's too big of a guy to continue to hit these hard hit balls on the ground, especially, batting third in the lineup. You'd hope that he can add some lift to it.
It's Ryan O'Bourne on the bump for the Cropdusters. Started 1 game, pitched 3 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, walked 3 batters, 4 hits against him, struck out 3 opposing batters. Good enough for a 9 ERA, identical to Ketchum's. He goes against a tough lineup tonight. It starts with Alex Peltier, center fielder for the Big Train. He's hitting .304 this season in 5 games played, 7 hits, 6 RBIs. He'll lead things off for Bethesda here in the bottom of the first.
And I'm excited to watch Parker Redden behind the plate. He's had his issues just kind of squeezing the ball, but another start today.
First pitch from O'Born. Fastball low. Peltier takes, it's 1-0. One ball and no strikes to O'Born. Make it 2-0. Peltier staying composed. O'Born having trouble locating so far. 2 balls, no strikes. O'Born working from the stretch. Make it 3 straight balls from Ryan O'Born. Peltier extremely diligent at the plate. He's walked twice this year, has also worn 3 hit-by pitches.
O'Born struggled with walks at school, but he did not walk anyone in that 3-inning outing.
4-pitch walk here. Leadoff man aboard for the Big Train, and he's an awfully big threat on the bases. Peltier, 6 bags stolen through 5 games. O'Born yet to throw a strike. He goes up against Brennan Wright, who's hitting .290. You're not going to hear a whole lot of low batting averages for this Bethesda Big Train team. All 9 of these players know how to put bat to ball. Pickoff move of Peltier. Slides back safely. Nice move by O'Born. Brennan Wright hitting .290 so far this season. First pitch to him in there, strike 1. Nice fastball from O'Born. He finds the zone for the first time tonight.
In case you're wondering what the Cropdusters pitchers eat on their off day, or you get a a
Pizza,
live look.
Doritos.
And a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Good eats.
Yeah, seriously.
I had 5 guys for dinner. That's good eats.
Oh, that is good eats. Any peanuts too, or?
No peanuts, no.
No peanuts. What are you gonna do? Can't have it all.
Got Cajun fries, though.
All right, that'll play instead.
0-1 pitch. O'Born heads home. Line drive, base hit into right. Kell comes in. Peltier, hard round of second. Cutoff throw goes to Hawkins. Peltier holds. 2 men on, nobody out for the Big Train. Near identical start for Bethesda, as we saw with the Cropdusters.
Indeed. Ketchum was able to walk the tightrope and survive the first and second nobody out jam. Certainly not going to be easy. O'Born, someone who does get hit hard. You saw at school, 16 hits in only 8 innings. He's got to find a way to, induce some soft contact. Double play, of course, would be ideal.
It's Peyton Steele at the dish for Bethesda. He's batting .286 in 3 games played, 4 hits and 14 at-bats. He has not grounded into a double play all season, and he's relatively quick. Plays the outfield. He's in right today for Bethesda. He'll be a tough guy to get turning to. Middle infield playing back. Off-speed pitch from O'Born. Finds the zone right down Broadway. Count square, 1-1.
And for Steele, 4 hits, but 3 of them are extra bases. 3 doubles in the year, so certainly a threat to hit the ball a long way.
He's got 5 RBIs as well. 2 men on, nobody out for Bethesda. O'Born checks Peltier at second. Now goes home. Swing and a miss. Off speed. Steele out ahead. It's 1-2.
Yeah, way ahead of the soft stuff there.
A ball and 2 strikes now to Peyton Steele. O'Born checks second. Now goes home. Swing and a miss. Steele down on strikes. Nice pitch by Ryan O'Born. 1 away here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, really good pitch from O'Born. Goes back to the off-speed pitch, and even if Steele got a little bit better of, a look for it after seeing it back-to-back times, he buried it in the dirt, and Steele is never going to take that one after the previous 2.
Pick off at second. Peltier slides back safely. Cropdusters bullpen thought they had him dead to rights. Second base umpire disagrees. Still 2 aboard with 1 away. Peltier on second, right on first. It's Ponnet at the dish, batting .323 this season through 7 games. Leads the league with 3 home runs. The only player in the Cal Ripken League with multiple home runs.
And a coach just got a warning for unsportsmanlike conduct. Or maybe it was a player, but someone in the dugout did. The bullpen loves it.
They're saying jot that down as the umpires take note of who was getting warned. Now they say knock it off to the bullpen. Dusters having a good time. Already get on the umpire's nerves. It's typical Olney baseball. 0-0 count. It's upon it. First pitch. Fastball inside, and it hits him. Grazes the elbow. Bases are loaded now with one out rather. O'Born struggling with location early on. He's now hit a batter and walked another.
And in classic Cropduster fashion, through less than one full inning, already hit by pitch on either side.
Control has been a problem a lot this season for the Cropdusters, especially starting games, and now they bring up an absolute powerhouse in Emilio Gonzalez, hitting .393 through 6 games this season. 6'3", 230 sophomore from FAU. First pitch to him was fouled off. It's 0-1. It's pounded on first, right on second. Peltier on third. Gonzalez at the dish.
The Cropdusters did a decent job of keeping him quiet. Only had one hit in their first meeting.
Off speed misses. Count even, 1-1.
In that game, he went 1 for 4. Also had a sac fly, but all things considered, for the start he had, nope, can't really complain about that.
1-1 count to Gonzalez. Fly ball out to left, out of play. Ricochets off the fence. Count moves to 1-2. Still one out. Middle infield pinched towards second base. Corners playing in. It's Santiago Cruz and Stalker on the corners for the Cropdusters. Hawkins and Fry in the middle. 1-2 pitch to Gonzalez. O'Born steps off. They'll think about this one. Gonzalez 8 RBIs on the season. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs fastball misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Starting to cool off here at Shirley Povich Field as the clock creeps towards 7:30. Swing and a miss! Off-speed pitch. Gonzalez chases.
But Redden not able to hold on. I think he just got a piece of it, and Redden not able to squeeze it.
Hard to hear from down here.
Indeed it is.
We're well beyond the first baseline, closer to the Cropdusters bullpen than we are to home plate. We'll do it all over. 2-2 pitch, 1 away. O'Born. Fly ball, shallow left field. In comes Klein. Out goes Hawkins. Klein misses it. He overran the ball. 1 run scores. They try to get the force at third. Throw is off. Another error by this Cropdusters defense. And it's 1-0 Big Train here in the bottom of the first.
I mean, sloppy baseball. It's simple as that. It's a good job by O'Born. He tosses exactly what he needed there. Soft contact in the air. Ron Klein, they're trying to get his bat in the lineup. He plays first and plays left. Certainly a play that, a left fielder should be able to make.
Ron Klein has struggled in the field at times. First pitch breaking ball in there for O'Born. He's now facing Matthew Wesley, the DH. Lowest batting average in the lineup tonight for the Big Train. He's hitting .238. But Klein, as we hinted at, he's already got 2 errors on the season. That'll make it 3. Fastball fouled right towards us. It's 0-2 now to Wesley. But defensive errors keep stacking up for the Cropdusters, and they had a chance at the force at third, could not get it done.
Yeah, not sure if it was the throw or the catch who's at fault for that.
Hard line drive right there, double play! A line drive to Austin Stalker. He goes up to get it rather, and tags out Emilio Gonzalez at first base. So a couple crucial double plays for both sides. Bethesda does tally one in the bottom half of the inning. It's 1-0 Big Train as we head to the top of the second. So after defensive lapse by the Cropdusters, big stand there by Austin Stalker.
Certainly could have been much worse for the Dusters. After the error, looking like they were in dangerous position to give up, a couple more runs, but only one.
Sounds like it was Cajern Ahern who got the warning for the Cropdusters. Not sure what was said, but number 34 for Olney has been told to quiet down a little bit.
And you saw a lot of guys going to the bullpen. A little easier to chirp from there, but Ahern not one of them.
A little easier to chirp, and all things considered, a nice shady spot down the right field line. It'll be Stalker, Hawkins, and Santiago Cruz for the Cropdusters here in the top of the second. Error by Roan Klein in the top of the first made it 1-0. Big Train, nice play by Austin Stalker, ended the inning on a double play. And it's Jack Ketchum back on the bump for the Big Train. Struggled rocky first two batters, but got out of the inning, all things considered, with relative ease after a double play from his middle infield on a Roan Clyde hard hit ground ball. Ended things out. It's Austin Stalker leading off here in the top of the second.
And it's really important now that the Dusters do not let Ketchum settle in. He had a rough first inning but found his way out of it. Cropdusters have to keep the pressure on, do not want this guy to settle in.
First pitch to Stalker, outside, he watches rather, it's 1-0. Stalker comes into tonight batting .091. He's got one hit and 11 at-bats. First pitch, swinging, and dropped by Alex Peltier in center field. Stalker will reach first base safely. It'll go down as an error. First swing of the night for Austin Stalker, and he's on base here in the top of the second.
I'd call that a hit. I think that's a tough scorekeeper calling that in there. I mean, he hit it pretty well. Had to cover a decent amount of ground on it.
Considering it's a Bethesda, they're going to call it an error, it looks like, on the scoreboard. They still only have the Cropdusters with one hit, and they just added an error, so they're going to officially rule it an E8. First pitch swinging deep to right field. Peyton Steele on the run at the warning track makes the play. Nice swing by Zakai Hawkins, who came up as we were figuring out how the heck to score that. Austin Stalker swing, I guess, contact, ruled an E8.
You talked about the comparison to the Yankees, and I kind of see it with that short porch in right field. Zakai Hawkins trying to hit it to that short porch just a little bit short.
Off goes Stalker, throw down to second, not in time, he slides in safely. Austin Stalker, his first stolen base of the season. Now a runner in scoring position for Onel Santiago Cruz. First pitch was outside to him, it's 1-0. Santiago Cruz hitting 100 on the year. One hit and 10 at-bats. It was an RBI. Ketchum from the stretch. Checks on Stalker at second base. Then goes home. Outside. Gets to the wall. Stalker advances to third. Cropdusters in attack mode once again. Runner on third with one away. 2-0 count to Onel Santiago Cruz.
And Ketchum certainly helping out the Cropdusters.
2-0 pitch, weak ground ball, hits Santiago Cruz in the batter's box, ruled foul ball, 2 balls and a strike now to Olney's third baseman. It's Stalker on third, Santiago Cruz in the batter's box, Parker Redden waits in the on-deck circle. The 2-1 pitch. Chopper coming in, pawn it, misses it. Backing him up was right, throw to first, not in time. So 2 errors by the Big Train yield a run for the Cropdusters. They're going to rule that an E5 as it just skirted right under Ponnet's glove, right there on the backup. Throw was well late. 1-0 only, an unearned run for Jack Ketchum and Santiago Cruz at first. Parker Redden at the dish. First pitch upstairs fastball. Redden watches. It's 1-0.
Sloppy sloppy play from both sides so far. And
off goes the runner. Santiago Cruz is safe. Throw to first. Redden is out. He didn't run it out. Throw back to second. Gets in the outfield.
It's kind of like I'm watching Little League right now. I know the ball's just flying around. That ball, the first baseman throws it over the head of trying to backpick Santiago Cruz at second, and it has been an interesting start.
So discussions there. They thought Redden was safe. Adam Leader, head manager for the Cropdusters, yells over, that's two. Essentially saying that's two bad calls now for the umpiring crew. Bottom of the order, it's Andrew Kell for the Cropdusters. Santiago Cruz stands on second. It's been a wild first 1.5 innings. Hard ground ball. No easy play. Right. Bobbles it.
What in the world is happening?
4 errors for the big train. It's like we're back in Pee Wee, Ben.
Yeah, this is not the quality of play that we came to see. And it is, a little bit jarring.
Another error for Bethesda. They can't stop beating themselves. 3 errors this inning. It's already yielded a run. Top of the order for the Cropdusters. First pitch to Aiden Fry. He swings. Fouls it straight back. This is a team that had won 3 straight, and this is how the Cropdusters have won games. Other teams make mistakes. Olney capitalizes. Bethesda giving them all the help in the world right now. It's 0-1 to Fry. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Kell takes second base, no throw down. 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs. 0-2 count now to Aiden Fry.
It would certainly be a let-off if the Dusters only get 1 run this inning. And yeah, I'm still kind of confused on that Redden play. Seems like he kind of slowed up, thinking he had it. Think if he runs through the base, he beats it out, despite even if he had the base anyway.
Kell slices that one down the left field line, out of play. Still 0-2. Or rather, Fry slices it. Kell's on second. 0-2 pitch still incoming. Ketchum has yet to allow an earned run. The 2 on base would not count either, as they both came aboard on errors. 0-2 pitch. Fastball low and outside. It's 1-2.
Talk about calamity of errors. I mean, that has literally been what we're watching so far in this game.
4 errors so far tonight combined. 1-2 pitch, off speed, low. Fry takes. Count square, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Two-two pitch. Ketchum grounds that one in the dirt. Coming home. Santiago Cruz will score. Nobody covering home for the big train. Jack Ketchum just walked off the mound, and he's going to get a visit from his catcher. So a wild pitch yields a run. Santiago Cruz comes in to score. 2-1 Cropdusters. As you said it, Ben, a calamity of errors, mistakes, wild pitches. It's been a mess.
I hate to harp on, but even that play, Dylan Murphy goes for the scoop instead of dropping and blocking, and a simple, kind of classic lack of hustle, lack of, putting your body in the line. That's what they say, dropping and blocking is what works. He doesn't do it. He goes for the scoop, doesn't get it, and then an easy run for the Cropdusters.
Easy run. It's been walks, wild pitches, and errors. Oh my.
Seriously, I mean,
And Jack Ketchum's night is done.
Seems like injury related, which is always unfortunate.
Seems like he hurt himself on that wild pitch. Training staff goes out to talk to him. So Ketchum is out for the remainder of the game, likely longer due to injury.
So it's going to be a relatively long gap now because, of course, pitchers after an injury get as long as they need to warm up. So we got to sit back and strap in for what is going to be a long one tonight.
And I'll tell you what, Ben, trying to describe what has happened this inning without a lot of it, capable of being seen because of our position in the stadium, it's rather wild when you think that these upper-level collegiate players have been incapable of making basic plays. Drop fly ball in center field, right under the glove of Logan Pond at third, yielded a base runner, and then a mishandling by Brennan Wright at shortstop. Basic plays for Bethesda proving to be difficult, and it's not like conditions are affecting either. There's no wind, sun's still out. They even have the lights on as it sets behind the trees. Not in anybody's eyes. Just mishandling of the baseball for Bethesda.
It's frustrating. We expect a certain level of play, and it's just, it hasn't been there so far tonight. Of course, a lot of game left, only the second inning, but yeah, just the level is not up to what we've been accustomed to, and maybe a bit of a wake-up call after 3 errors in 1 inning. You just don't see that often.
Some time to kill. It'll still be a 3-2 count to Aiden Fry. Once the next Bethesda arm comes in, Jack Ketchum leaving with an injury. So he's out for the remainder of the game. A rough break for him. He started off relatively shaky, was settling down, and then was getting no help from his defense. And as if things couldn't get any worse, he goes down with an injury. Got playing time at Alabama, was the top-ranked right-handed pitcher out of Mississippi when he came out of high school in 2025, or 2024 rather.
And whoever it is that's going to come in is going to inherit quite the situation. 3-2, 2 outs, runner on third.
None of those runs scored by the Cropdusters were earned. All of them came on base runners that reached by error. So Ketchum's ERA will stay the exact same, even if the man over at third, Andrew Kell, comes in to score. He reached on an error, so that will not affect Jack Ketchum's ERA. If there's any silver lining to any of this, which it's hard to be too positive, especially with him potentially dealing with something serious. New arm coming in, we'll get you who it is momentarily.
We talked about how the Cropdusters were a little bit unlucky in the first inning. I mean, they don't have a single base knock. Their hardest hit ball was by Zakai Hawkins, who drilled it, but it was, caught at the warning track. Stalker reached on an error. Santiago Cruz reached on an error. Kell reached on an error, and that's how the Dusters have scored 2 runs.
So we're seeing the brother of Jack Ketchum. Couldn't have him anymore. They went with the closest thing possible, and Cole Ketchum, also from Mississippi, just wrapped up his redshirt sophomore season at Ole Miss, where he tallied a 9 ERA in 2 appearances, just appeared for a combined 1 inning where he allowed 1 earned run, walked 2 batters, struck out 1 opponents, hit .400 against him this season.
You hope that he's able to shake off whatever, concerns he has for his brother, although of course it's difficult, and is still able to deliver at the level he knows he can.
Ketchum has appeared in 1 inning as well. Also tallying a 9 ERA, identical to college. He's allowed 1 earned run in 1 innings pitched. So The brother of Jack Ketchum, Cole Ketchum, works with a fastball that tops out at 90 miles an hour, changeup in the mid-80s, cutter as high as 87. He inherits a 2-out, 3-2 count to Aiden Fry with Andrew Kell on third base. Sloppy baseball through 8 outs.
Difficult situation. He can't throw a single ball, or else he gives up a free base to Aiden Fry, who will most likely then steal second, putting up 2 in scoring position.
He's coming in a rough spot. There's no doubt about that. Fry will step back into the batter's box. We will resume play. Jack Ketchum out, Cole Ketchum in. Jaden Knight just ran past us. He's dealing with a leg injury. Looks pretty good. Not favoring either side. He might be back in the lineup tomorrow. We will see. Right now it's Aiden Fry versus Cole Ketchum. 3-2 pitch, 2 away. Runner on third. Fastball in there. Strike 3. Fry goes down looking. He doesn't like the call. Neither does Adam Leader. He's frustrated, walking back to the dugout. He's been barking at the umpires so far tonight. We're only in the top of the second, and things have already gotten dicey. Cropdusters tally 2 in the top half of the inning. It's 2-1 Olney as we head to the bottom of the second.
Certainly already some frustration. Sometimes risky this early into a game. Sometimes it kind of just evens out. We'll see if cool heads will prevail.
And a long layover for Ryan O'Bourne, who steps back on the bump after the Jack Ketchum injury. Took some time for Cole Ketchum to get ready and loose and come out to the bump. O'Bourne now takes over after about a 20-minute hiatus. He's warming up. Looks like this infield might just be taking weird hops, Ben. Even in warm-ups, the Cropdusters misplaying some ground balls. Not quite sure what's going on here. It's like I'm in a Twilight Zone episode, the way things have shaken up so far. It's taken a lot for us to get to the bottom of the second with our 2-run ball game. Looks like the scorekeepers took away an error and awarded a hit to somebody on the Cropdusters. We're unsure as to who that is. So an alternative scorebooks means 3 combined errors to only 2 hits, yet there are somehow 3 runs here in the bottom of the second.
I'd assume Stalker just because the other 2 were more egregious.
Alex Peltier had to sprint in from center field to try and grab that Stalker line drive. First pitch to Parker Corbin in the dirt. He takes 1-0. Corbin hitting 182 this season, taken 22 at-bats, recorded 4 hits, a home run, and 8 RBIs. He's also walked 6 times. Swing and a miss. Change up by O'Bourne. Corbin out ahead. It's 1-1. O'Bourne moving quickly, takes the signal from Redden, comes set immediately. Lifts his leg, goes home. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Parker Corbin, his 5th knock of the season. Leadoff man aboard for the 2nd straight inning for Bethesda.
That one certainly sounded good off the bat. Some serious exit velo on that. Smacked it up the middle.
Man, I wish we could travel with that track, man, see how hard that ball was hit. Josh Skoronski, the left fielder, due up for Bethesda. First pitch in the dirt, Redden scoops. It's 1-0. Skoronski hitting .261 this season. 6 hits and 23 at-bats. Fastball low, below the knees. 2-0 count. O'Bourne not checking over at first. Corbin, hefty lead, doesn't go. Ground ball, base hit. Chopper into right. In between Stalker and Fry, it's in no man's land. 2 consecutive knocks. Corbin holds at second. Bethesda charging again. 2 men on, nobody out.
Unfortunate there for O'Byrne. He got the ground ball he wanted. Was not hit well. Kind of a perfect double play chopper. Usually one that can just be easily fielded and thrown, at the right height, but just Fry not able to get it, and now there's first and second.
It's Dylan Murphy up the catcher. Chopper scooped up. Nice play. Santiago Cruz. Throw to second. That's one. Throw to first. Not in time. Dylan Murphy trips at first base. Might have caught some of Austin Stalker's foot. Cropdusters get the force out. Santiago for Cruz to Aiden Fry. One away. Runners on third and first. It's Corbin on third, Murphy on first. Top of the order, Alex Peltier due up for Bethesda. First pitch to him, fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-1.
Nice job by O'Byrne. He's really been pounding the zone as much as he can be, and still a chance for double play here.
Peltier rolls it over down the left line. Out of play. Cropdusters awfully vocal tonight.
Big Train. The Big Train dugout is not happy with that one. They believed it was a fair ball.
0-2 count now to Peltier. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up tonight. Murphy on first, Corbin on third. 0-2 pitch from O'Byrne. Swing and a miss. Peltier down on strikes. Key K for Ryan O'Byrne. There's 2 away with Brennan White coming up at the plate. Wright singled his first time up. He's got 4 RBIs this season, a chance to add a 5th, potentially a 6th. O'Byrne first pitch in the dirt. Redden blocks it. It's 1-0.
Again, Redden does a good job. He's been a waltz through this first, inning and 2/3.
Has struggled behind the plate at times this season. Redden so far tonight has been nails. 1-0 pitch. Off goes Murphy. Throw down to second. It was a pump fake by Parker Redden. Faked me, did not fake the Big Train. Corbin holds at third. 2 men in scoring position. Nobody out. Or 2 outs, rather. One pitch to right. Chopper, Stalker takes it on a hop. He'll charge to first base. Beats out right. And Ryan O'Byrne. 2 first men aboard on singles. He gets out of the inning with a clean sheet. Still 2-1 Cropdusters as we head to the top of the third.
Really nice pitching from O'Byrne so far. Keeping the ball down, leading to ground balls that are not hit that well. And it's definitely a recipe for success, especially if you're going to be allowing base runners. The double play is always going to be available.
Jack Ketchum has still not come out of the medical tent. It's Cole Ketchum back on the bump. He's going up against 2, 3, 4 for the Cropdusters. Brian Scott, Roan Klein, Jimmy Kirk. Scott, the lone duster with a base hit so far tonight. Singled up the middle his first time up. And unlike the Big Train, the Cropdusters don't have the benefit of seeing an arm through the order a second time.
That is true, but certainly not, the ideal way to come in for, Ketchum. Pitching, he's been effective so far, only threw 1 pitch and got that strikeout, but, just weird circumstance that's forced him into this game, and certainly wouldn't call it an advantage for him.
Brian Scott will lead things off here momentarily.
Ketchum pitched a decent amount in his first year at Ole Miss. 19 innings, but he gave up 15 runs and 28 hits. After, not playing last year, only threw 1 inning, so trying to ramp up this summer.
Cole Ketchum has thrown just 1 pitch, yet he has a strikeout to his name tonight. Not so often that you can say that. Brian Scott due up here to start the top of the 3rd. Ketchum comes set, then goes home. Scott, first pitch swinging deep in the hole, right, scoops it on a hop, throw to first, in time! Brennan Wright shows off the arm and throws out Brian Scott at first base, who can absolutely fly. 1 pitch, 1 out, 2 pitches, 2 outs for Ketchum. In steps Roan Klein.
Pretty good swing on it. I thought that was going to get through, but Wright playing deep in the hole allowed him to make that play relatively easily.
Klein, check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Third base umpire says so. 0-1 count now to Roan Klein. Breaking ball confused him a little bit. Ketchum settling in. Comes set, delivers, fastball. Coats the outside corner. It's 0-2 to Roan Klein, who grounded into a double play his first time up. There's nobody aboard, 1 away here in the top of the 3rd. Cole Ketchum comes set, lifts his leg, swing and a miss. Roan Klein down on strikes. Cole Ketchum pounding the zone. He's thrown 5 pitches, and all 5 have been strikes.
Klein not able to make the adjustment on the off speed, and just sort of flails on that one.
Klein has been a solid bat for the Cropdusters. He has struck out 5 times in 18 at-bats, has only walked twice, so just laying barrel to ball on 2 strikes has been a problem so far. Jimmy Kirk, first pitch to him, he fouls it back. 0-1. Kirk grounded out to Parker Corbin at second base his first time up. He's making his debut tonight. Faced Jack Ketchum his first time up, now going against his brother Cole. 0-1 pitch. Heater upstairs and inside. Kirk takes. Count even, 1-1.
I was impressed with Kirk's 2-strike approach. Not a tough out despite being such a power hitter.
1-1 count to number 99. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, and
Kirk late on the fastball. He's going to have to show off that 2-strike approach as he's down in the count 1-2.
And you'll see him now get a little bit lower, take a much smaller leg kick.
No choke up on the bat. 1-2 count. Swing! Foul tip right into the glove of Murphy. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cole Ketchum. He retires the side here in the top of the 3rd. 3 up, 3 down goes Olney. We head to the bottom half of the inning. Cropdusters still lead the big train 2-1.
Nice pitching. Cook just Ketchum there, just pounding the zone. And yeah, he came in earlier than he thought. Had to warm up quickly, although he still you have to take your time. You never warm up the way you expect to. But he's come in and he's been amazing for the first 4 outs.
Ryan O'Born back out for his third and likely final inning of work. He'll face 3, 4, 5, middle of the order due up for Bethesda.
He's been throwing that off-speed pitch a lot, and it's been paying dividends.
First pitch to Peyton Steele, who struck out his first time up. Fastball in there, strike one.
Steele saw that breaking ball a lot in the first inning, and he was not really able to do anything about it.
Swing and a miss. Off speed. Steele up ahead. It's 0-2.
O'Born pitching with a lot of confidence. You gotta like what you're seeing from him so far.
He's been awfully composed. Swing and a miss. Off speed. Steele chases. 3 straight strikes. And that's an out for Ryan O'Born and crew. Peyton Steele down with a K in the scorecard for the second time tonight. Logan Ponnett steps in, was hit by a pitch his first time up. Fastball in the dirt.
And O'Born is clearly really feeling confident with his off-speed pitch tonight, throwing it a lot and able to get it at least either in the zone or close enough to the zone that it's a pitch to swing at.
Fastball in there, strike one. O'Born has really settled in. He's working quickly. You can tell he's in a groove. He's got some mojo to him. Him and Redden on the same page tonight. 1-1 count. That off-speed misses. Two
And
balls and a strike.
I give him a lot of credit because there's been a weird game. You know, long break, fielders, you know, not making necessarily all the plays for him, and he's still just going out there and firing strikes.
Fires a fastball in the strike zone there. Evens the count, 2-2. Ryan O'Born, this is a different look than his first game started where he allowed 3 runs. Off speed just misses inside.
Certainly not a bad pitch, just didn't get the outward break that he's been getting tonight.
Count full, 3-2. Foul tip rolled off the leg of Ponnett. A painful way to stay alive, but he does so nonetheless. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three and 2 O'Born. Chopper, third base side, out of play.
So he's throwing consecutive fastballs in the 3-2 count. Does not want to put Ponnett on.
8th pitch of the at-bat incoming. O'Born goes home. Off-speed misses. Ponnett draws the walk. He reaches base safely for the second time tonight.
And that's not a bad pitch, just a little bit down.
It's Emilio Gonzalez standing in for the big train. Recorded an RBI on an error by Roan Klein and left his first time up. Check over to first on Logan Ponnett. He gets back with ease. Ponnett has not stolen a base this season. Gonzalez, hard hit ground ball. Fry. Hawkins, throw to first, got him! Cropdusters turn 2 for the second time tonight. Ryan O'Born walks the batter and takes care of him on the next pitch. 2 straight scoreless frames for the big train, and the Cropdusters lead 2-1 as we head to the top of the 4th.
So he's gone 3 innings, but this is second time pitching. Unclear if his day is done or if he'll get a 4th. But regardless, really impressive outing. Throwing strikes, keeping the ball down.
Torrey and Domenico up in the bullpen, getting loose with some bands. He's not thrown yet. Wonder if he'll get the call to start the bottom of the fourth. He's tossing his glove on now.
You know, I'll say about this stadium. First of all, it's impressive the amount of concessions and stuff they have to do, but just the amount of interns or workers they have is pretty amazing. I see at least 15, high school aged people that are working in the stadium. It's a big project they got here.
I walked up and, with a table and chairs, and of course you were kind enough to bring our equipment today. And it was like I was greeted, obviously this is the Cropdusters rival, but it was like I was at Disney World or Chick-fil-A. Customer service was great. They even walked me over here. They didn't pull out the chair, so didn't get tipped, but
You got to get like minus half point for that.
Yeah.
And where they did walk us is not necessarily the ideal location, but
it's far from
at least they walked us somewhere.
And they did set up the table, and they gave us power, which
Clutch.
surprisingly for us is sometimes a luxury. We'll keep things running smoothly as we wait for the kids to clear out of the field. As Cole Ketchum, in for his second full inning of work, he'll lead off with Austin Stalker. Cole Ketchum has gone 4 up, 4 down. Austin Stalker reached on what was initially scored an error his first time up. We're unsure whether or not that was changed to a hit, likely was. First pitch to him is low, it's 1-0.
His swing got the craziness going in the second.
1-0 count. Fly ball, left side, on the run, Ponnet. Out of play behind the turf.
Something that seems maybe missing from the first responders field over in Olney.
No tarp there. That time it benefits the Cropdusters. Ponnet likely would have had space had that big roll not been there, and he did not pull an Anthony Rizzo. 1-1 count. Ketchum goes home. Upstairs misses. Fastball right at the head of Stalker. It's 2-1. Ketchum exhales, delivers, swing, and a miss. Stalker late on the heater. Count square, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ketchum goes home. Chopper down the first base line. It's going to be Ketchum who takes it. Toss to Gonzalez. He got him. It was a changeup.
How'd you know
In
that?
so many words, said Austin Stalker. I can't exactly repeat what he said as he ran by.
But it certainly was a changeup.
Certainly was a changeup, and he's certainly frustrated, I'll tell you that. That's all we can tell you based on what he said. There's one out here in the top of the fourth. It's 2-1 Cropdusters. Zakai Hawkins standing in. First pitch fastball dropped by Murphy. It was high anyways, 1-0 count to Hawkins. He flew out to deep right his first time up. Hawkins entering tonight, batting .214. Ketchum. That fastball misses once more. In on the hands of Hawkins. He lays off 2 balls, no strikes.
Good take there. A pitch that, comes in inside, one that you often want to turn on, but a smart take there to get ahead 2-0 in the count.
2-0. He's pounding that inside zone. That one finds the corner of the plate.
Speaking of pounding inside zone, is that a go-to play for you in Madden?
Oh, I love inside zone. Madden 20, Eric Dickinson inside
Oof.
zone was
It's
unstoppable.
over.
2-1 count. Upstairs heater. It's been 4 straight fastballs for Cole Ketchum. Been relatively unsuccessful. 3-1 count now to Hawkins, who's a threat when he reaches base. 2 bags stolen on the season. Santiago Cruz due up. 3-1 pitch. Hard line drive. Missed again. Brennan Wright could not contain it. Does not get the chest in front of it. Skirts right by him. That one will likely be ruled a base hit, but it's been a rough night in the field for Brennan Wright, and they call it an error. I'm not sure if I agree with that, Ben. That was a hard hit ground ball moving to his left. Wright can't scoop it. Obviously had a chance to make a play, but Hawkins fast enough, he might as well beat that out. So an E6 once more. That's 2 errors tonight for Brennan Wright. And stands on El Santiago Cruz. Fastball outside, Santiago Cruz takes. It's 1-0.
I think the issue there with it being called there is it was just not even able to knock it down. A play that was pretty, seemed, at least from our angle, looked to be in front of him, not able to, even get a glove on it.
Fastball coats the inside part of the plate. Count square, 1-1. So many misplays tonight defensively. Sun hasn't even set yet. Rough start for Brennan Wright. 1-1 count to Santiago Cruz, who reached on an error by Logan Ponnet his first time up. Swing and a miss. Late on that fastball. It's 1-2.
Santiago Cruz's contact was led to the first run.
1-2 pitch. Off goes Hawkins. Santiago Cruz fouls it back into the trees. They're playing dangerous games by having the parking lot in clear distance of a foul ball. I don't know where you parked your car, Ben. I made sure mine was in relative safe distance.
I parked pretty far away. I thought it was too far, and then I saw two nice-looking guys wearing Big Train shirts. I said, "Is this the place right to park?" He said, "You don't want to go any closer. The balls will get you." I said, "All right, I'll stay here and make a little bit of a walk."
Pickoff attempt of Hawkins, not in time.
Hawkins is clearly waiting. He was timing up Ketchum there. He thought was the pitch to go. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in motion again here.
Still a 1-2 count to Santiago Cruz. One away here in the top of the 4th. There goes Hawkins. No, he doesn't. Swing and a miss. Santiago Cruz down on strikes. Cole Ketchum, 3 Ks. And we get a bell chime.
Santiago Cruz really not able to hold off on that high fastball the whole at bat, and eventually swung and missed.
My mistake, 4 strikeouts for Cole Ketchum. He did strike out Aiden Fry after inheriting him in a 3-2 count. That goes to him. Swing and a miss. Parker Redden late on the upstairs cheese. Cropdusters chasing so far tonight.
And Hawkins continues to bluff that. I don't know if that's me. I certainly would be thrown over.
He's 10 or 11 feet off the first base bag. Parker Redden still looking for his first hit this season. Pick off of Hawkins. He slides back safely. And for Parker Redden, it's been a rough go to start his season. Entered tonight 0 for 8. He's now 0 for 9. This is his 10th at-bat, including this one. 9 of his ABs have come with runners on. Redden has struck out 6 times and has yet to record an RBI. Second pitch fastball upstairs, count level 1-1. If anybody's in desperate need of a hit, it's this guy, Parker Redden. He's got Hawkins at first, who keeps bluffing that steal.
Oh, and
now he goes. Redden fouls it back. Hawkins, 2 solid jumps. It comes on 2 swings, both being foul balls. So Hawkins will retreat once again. It's a 1-2 count now to Redden.
he really timed up catch him there. He was gone. You know, that's one of those you can stand up on stealing, but Redden, you know, in a 1-1 count has to swing. And for Redden, you know, so far you can kind of you take this. It's been a fastball. What's really got him has been the off-speed pitch. He's gotten all heat so far.
Ketchum, upstairs fastball. Redden watches 2-2. Cole Ketchum has been fantastic with 2 strikes tonight. We already hinted at the number. 4 Ks through exactly 2 innings. It's been really solid.
We've seen Redden not look good on the off-speed pitch. Maybe a time to go to one here.
2-2. Foul ball gets a piece of the upstairs heater. Redden, a nice battle. There's 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Cropdusters still lead 2-1.
Cole Ketchum trusting his fastball and sticking with it.
Hard to blame him. It's been really effective so far. He's retired 7 straight, trying to make it 8. And he does! Swing and a miss. Parker Redden down on strikes for the 7th time this season. And Cole Ketchum has 5 Ks through 2 2/3. The righty is absolutely dealing, taking over for his brother Jack. It's still 2-1 lead. Stays at 1 for Olney. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Man, oh man, Cole Ketchum is on fire right now.
Doing a great job. Put into a tough situation, coming earlier than you expected. And he's done all you could hope for, just pounding the zone in what has been a really impressive 2 1/3, and he is not done yet.
And man, oh man, the guy coming to the mound for the Cropdusters has had an up and down week, being told he was going to pitch, then being pulled back, having to go get lucid in case a game went to extras. Game ends in the 9th. He's been all over the field. He finally takes the bump right here. It's Torrey and Domenico out for a 2nd appearance this season. Posted a clean sheet his first time up. He started the Cropdusters home opener. Pitched a clean sheet, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, no runs allowed. Real impressive stuff from the left-hander. Big chance for him to keep this lead at 1.
And it's clear how much he's respected by his coaching staff. You know, it was that game against the South County Braves where Gavin Lill, he finished the 8th, and then the 9th was coming, and they said, warm up like you're going in, you're going in, you're going in. And, you know, I think he kind of knew he wasn't, but he kind of, you know, just a little bit of baseballism there, having to get as loose as he can, like he's pitching, of course, not actually going in. And then Lil ended up having a clean enough inning. He actually gave up 2 base runners. Seemed like it could have been the time for Indomenico. They stick with Lil, and he did the job. Then Indomenico was slated to pitch yesterday, but due to the state of the game, when it was, you know, 6-0 when he would have came into the game, they said, you know, let's save him for a closer scenario when we want to maximize his talent. So clearly he is, you know, thought of in high regard by his coaches.
In case you need reminding, Torrey and Domenico, fastball, changeup, curveball combo. Fastball, 90 miles an hour. Changeup, anywhere from 79 to 82. Curveball, high 70s, topping out at 79. It's Matthew Wesley due up for the big train. He grounded into a double play his first time up. Nobody on for Wesley this time. He's hitting .238 this season.
Wesley had a weird game the last time they faced. 1 for 2 with 3 walks, and that was, you know, of course, just last week.
Wesley has 7 walks on the season. A keen eye. First pitch swinging right back to Endomenico. He'll waltz over to first. Underhand throw to Stalker. 1 away off 1 pitch.
Dream start for Indomenico.
1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down. Parker Corbin stands in, singled his first time up. That was a much-needed hit for Corbin. Came in batting .182. Shows bunt, goes around. completely whiffs. It's 0-1. Fastball by Domenico. Too much to lay down. Bottom 4. Outside heater misses. Count square, 1-1.
Domenico is relatively unassuming, not very tall and neither that big, but still throws absolute heat.
He lifts that leg across his body and then goes home. It's really like you're seeing him charge up that velocity in motion. He cocks back and slants that leg right to the left part of his body and then just completely stretches out to the absolute max to deliver each and every pitch. It's a violent motion, and it has been successful so far this season. He's tossed 2 straight balls, 3-1 count.
Went for the slider on 2-1, didn't hit the spot.
Fastball outside part of the plate. Called strike, count now full, 3-2. And Domenico shakes his head yes, comes set, looks home. Lifts his leg, off speed in the dirt. And Parker Corbin draws the walk, 1 aboard with 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. 7th walk of the season for Parker Corbin.
Yeah, the UMD player getting a lot of consistent at-bats and, working on that eye. It's a good at-bat against a tough pitcher, lefty-lefty. And Domenico's always going to be a relative nightmare matchup. But well done by Corbin to lay off some tough pitches.
It's Josh Skaronski in for Bethesda. First pitch, foul ball over the Bethesda dugout on the 3rd baseline. It's 0-1. And Domenico checks, goes home. That heater misses low and outside.
I mean, you can see the strength of having a lefty move is shown right. Of being a lefty is Corbin is going back as in Domenico is pitting his leg up. He just does not know if he's going to get thrown at or not. Does not want to get picked off.
Swing and a miss. Skaronski can't lay off the off speed. A ball and 2 strikes. It's Corbin still on first. 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. And Domenico stares down, goes home. Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the night for Torrey and Domenico. Comes in a key spot. There's now 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. 9-hitter Dylan Murphy coming up for Bethesda. And after a walk by number 5 for the Cropdusters, the lefty fires back with a 4-pitch strikeout. And he's got 2 away. He's working effectively, similar to what we saw his first time out this season.
Back-to-back sliders, both really nice pitches.
It's been a weak layoff for Domenico, and he looks like he's as fresh as can be. First pitch strike there to Murphy. Grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Came into tonight hitting .364. And Domenico stares down Corbin. Chopper, 3rd base side. Santiago Cruz cannot field it cleanly. Nipped the top of his glove. Could not scoop it up. Errors ridiculing both sides. 5 combined so far tonight. And just another play that you would think is routine for guys like this.
You would. You really would. You seem like you went for down to the bare hand in the air. I think he may have, kind of just take his time and caught that one, but ends up in there.
2 aboard with 2 out, top of the order. First pitch swinging by Peltier into right base hit. Coming in, Cal firing home. Cut off by Stalker. It tipped Stalker's glove. Throw made its way to Redden. Corbin came in to score from second. It's a 2-2 ball game. RBI double for Alex Peltier.
And the errors costing once more.
It's been brutal so far for both sides. Each team has relinquished runs due to fielding mishaps. Cropdusters do one here after the Santiago Cruz error on the weak ground ball by Dylan Murphy. It's now Brennan Wright at the dish. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Runners on first and second for Bethesda. Swings, weak fly ball. Hawkins there, shallow center field, in and over. Big Train tally a run after a double by Alex Peltier. Brand new ball game as we head to the 5th inning, 2-2 here from Shirley Povich Field.
And Domenico is going to be frustrated. Of course, the error is out of his control, but he's still, with the confidence he pitches with 2 outs, he would love to get that chance back to get that next out, unable to do so. And it's a good piece of hitting from Peltier. He drilled that ball. A pretty solid throw from Kell. It's kind of stayed on its line, and unclear. Maybe if Stalker didn't get a touch on it, it would have been an out.
It's still Cole Ketchum on the bump for the Big Train. He's had an impressive start to his night. 5 strikeouts through 2 2/3. Has yet to allow a hit, has allowed a base runner, and the only reason that's happened is because Brennan Wright at shortstop could not field a hard hit ground ball off the bat of Zakai Hawkins. So really nothing to Ketchum's fault so far tonight, with the only base runner coming on a mishap by his shortstop.
And how often do you hear this? Through 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 errors. Just, it's a number we're not used to seeing.
And here's what's even crazier, Ben. The Big Train have batted around 3 times. Their leadoff man and their 2-hitter, and Alex Peltier and Brennan Wright, have both hit 3 times through 4 innings, and yet the Big Train only have 2 runs. How often do you see a lineup get worked through 3 times before 9 outs have been reached, or 12 outs rather have been reached, and there only be 2 runs?
Obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean a loss for the Dusters, but I will say in these last couple games, you're seeing a lot of hitters get 5, 6 at-bats consistently, and that's not just the top of the order, it's the whole lineup, so a lot of base runners.
First pitch to Andrew Kell, fastball inside, called strike, 0-1. You mentioned it, Ben. You keep giving the Bethesda Big Train base runners. At some point, they're going to make them pay. The Cropdusters, all things considered, have gotten out of jams tonight. You can't keep relying on that hard hit ground ball. Ponnet bobbles, then throws to first. Another near error for the Big Train. Logan Ponnet recovers after the initial mishap, and there's one away here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, decent contact by Cal. Not able to get any height on it.
I think I've got to start waiting until the ball is actually thrown to first and the umpire says out before I say anything.
Yeah, and emphasis on that before the umpire says out, as we saw in your last game. Some pretty easy calls that seemed like you could just kind of say. Turned out umpire disagreed with you somehow.
Officiating isn't a problem. Fly ball right towards us. It's going to sail about 10 feet over our head. Did you bring your glove tonight, Ben?
No, I didn't, but I think there's a shot we get one. I worry, though. It could be a hard hit line drive from a righty.
I have mine in my car, 7th inning stretch. If we keep getting them hit towards us, I say we go grab it. Top of the order for the Cropdusters, Aiden Fry down 0-1. Ketchum goes home. Swing and a miss! Fry can't lay off the upstairs heat. Nobody on the Cropdusters tagging that so far, and Aiden Fry is quickly down 0-2.
Let me ask you this. You think there's an appropriate age where you should stop bringing your glove to the ballpark, or is that a timeless thing?
I'll comment on that in a second. 0-2 count now to Aiden Fry. Swing and a miss. Cole Ketchum is dealing here tonight. 6 strikeouts so far. Has yet to allow a hit. Unbelievable stuff. He's now retired Aiden Fries twice on strikes. And the righty is dealing. To answer your question, Ben, with Brian Scott coming to the plate, yes, there is. But I think if you get to a certain age, like old enough, you can bring it again. Or if you haven't been to a ball game, you can bring it. But if you're a 40-year-old guy, bringing with season tickets to Yankees games or to Orioles games or Nationals games, and you're bringing your glove to every ball game, just leave it at home, buddy.
Yeah. Even if you're in home run territory.
Yeah. Even if you're in home run territory. Barehanded. Go Nolan Arenado. Swing and a miss. Brian Scott laid on the heater. 1-1 count. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you, except, I don't want to be the poor guy that doesn't bring his glove, and next thing you know, you miss out on a home run. So I feel like it's a bit of a double-edged sword. You lose the coolness for the chance of actually, making a catch. I think end of the day, I'd rather have the ball than the looks of maybe disgust from people my age.
Fair argument. I can't really bounce back at that. It's 1-2 now to Brian Scott. He just found back a fastball. Sun beginning to set. Cole Ketchum has silenced this Cropdusters lineup. 1-2 pitch to Brian Scott. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Inside heater, nice take by Olney's center fielder. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Off speed, misses outside. This is the first time we've really seen Cole Ketchum almost struggle. Obviously, he had pitches to work with. He still has a 3-2 count to Brian Scott. 2 outs, payoff pitch incoming. Ketchum looks home towards Murphy, comes set, exhales, kicks, deals, upstairs fastball, and that's the first time that Cole Ketchum has allowed a base runner on his own volition. Walk to Brian Scott. And the Cropdusters have a 2-out base runner with Roan Klein coming to the dish.
Good at bat from Scott. Fouling off some tough pitches high in the zone and not extending his zone on some tough high fastballs. 2-out walk, would expect him to be in motion with the middle of the order up. Klein, though, sort of struggling of late.
Klein watches the first pitch fastball outside. Called ball. He's up 1-0. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's got a runner on first and Brian Scott, who can absolutely fly. Hard ground ball. Right to Parker Corbin. He flips to Brennan Wright. And the inning's over. A 2-out walk by Brian Scott leads to nothing. Cole Ketchum is absolutely dealing for the big train. He's retired 10 of 12 batters he's faced, has only walked 1, the other reached by an error. He's struck out 6 through 3 2/3 rather. Sorry, numbers getting all crazy here with the errors and the E's and this. Still a 2-2 game, I have that one for sure. Bottom of the 5th incoming here from Shirley Povich Field.
And what I will say, yes, it's nice to see that the Cropdusters have 2 on the scoreboard, but it's the way they've scored. I mean, in that inning, it was error that maybe hit by Stalker. They reversed that error, but Santiago Cruz gets on with an error. Kell gets on with an error, and that's how the 2 runs were scored. So, still, the Cropdusters yet to really create much offense for themselves. I think it's and that they haven't got a hit since that first inning knock from Scott. So I think it's fair to say that it's as it stands, it's more the same in terms of lack of offensive production from Olney.
Things have definitely quieted down in the hit department for the Cropdusters. They have not recorded a knock since that Stalker hit in the top of the 2nd. That's 17 straight batters, 18 straight batters rather, without a hit for Olney. Bats going silent once more. We've seen this happen in games previously. Cropdusters struggle to play a full 9.
Carter Ritchie giving out to the fans. You gotta love it. And you see Coach Evans giving out bracelets.
I would love a bracelet. Why don't we get bracelets, Ben?
I think if we could ask for a bracelet. I'm a bracelet wearer. I could use a bracelet.
I don't actually have any gear on my wrists. You know,
Gotta start
rappers would
somewhere.
make fun of me. Do not have 50K of ice. First pitch from Endomenico here in the bottom of the 5th, misses low.
I don't know what's better, not in terms of stature. Nothing, or I'm rocking a camp I used to work at on each of my hands, along with some kind of strings that I would guess you consider bracelets.
I think it's pretty good.
All right, I'll take
I
it.
think if you had just like one, you know, I think like the combo works the best when you have multiple. But I mess with them. It's 2-0.
I think the bullpen getting a little bit antsy here. You know, they want to see some more production from their offense. They know Endomenico is having to work hard. You know, it's the same story that we've seen for the last couple games. Pitching to either keep it close or keep it tied, not pitching to hold the lead.
It's Peyton Steele up for the big train. Got a 2-0 count. Make it 3-0. Fastball from Endomenico sails high. Head height of Steele, who stands 6'1". That one right at the chest. Called strike, 3-1. Steele 0 for 2 tonight with a pair of Ks. Had only struck out 3 times heading into the evening. 3-1 pitch. Fouled off down the first base line. On the run goes Stalker. Makes the play against the net. That was awfully close to gracing the black string. Does not. Nice play by Campbell Stalker, or Austin Stalker rather. Uses all of that 6'3" frame, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 5th.
So a break for the Dusters. Look like that ball was going out of play. Just stayed in, you know, a couple more inches to the left. That ball's hitting the fence before he's catching it. But Endomenico and his Cropduster team will certainly take that first out.
Logan Pana has reached base both times. Was hit by a pitch his first time up, walked his second time up. Fastball from Endomenico coats the inside part of the plate, and Logan Pond in a blink of the eye is down 0-2.
You saw Redden point to Endomenico there, a pitch that he's clearly saying, great one, I loved it.
0-2 pitch, ground ball down the third base line, out of play.
Endomenico, though, keeps throwing strikes, continues to attack the zone.
1-2 count. Endomenico goes home. Upstairs heater. Ponnet watches. Still 2 strikes, 1 away.
Could set up the inside sweeper in the dirt, the slider, excuse me.
1-2 count. Endomenico rolled over, third base side, out of play. Still 1-2.
But Endomenico continuing to pound the zone. You like to see that with 2 strikes. Not, you know, feeling a need to throw a perfect pitch, just throwing strikes and looking to record outs.
1-2. Check swing, did he go? First base umpire says no. Breaking ball in the dirt, nearly got Ponnet around.
You're always allowed to ask, even if the result is pretty clear.
Swing and a miss! No need to check there. Tori Endomenico fires back with his second strikeout of the evening. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Really nice pitch there, fastball high in the zone, especially after the soft stuff down. It's totally different, you know, changes your eye angle, tough pitch to take.
Really, really nice stuff from Tori Endomenico, who has really worked on that fastball since playing here last season. Was still very effective last year, but that velocity has gone up and that control so much better. First pitch swinging for Emilio Gonzalez. Shallow left field. On the run goes Hawkins. And it's out of play. For a second there, it looked like Santiago Cruz basket caught it. He was also running, as was Klein from left field. Hawkins seemed to have had the best angle, but Santiago Cruz stuck out his glove at the last second, Willie May style. Did not see the ball fall momentarily. I thought he might have caught it. He did not. It's an 0-1 count now to Emilio Gonzalez, who's 0 for 1 tonight, grounded into a double play, reached on an error by Rowan Klein and shallow left in the first. That knocked in one of Bethesda's 2 runs. Fastball misses, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, that pop-up foul is one of the times that you guys at home have the same amount of idea of what's happening on the play as we do. But yeah, would have been quite the catch.
Gonzalez late on it again. Everything he's hit has been towards that left side, excluding that double play, the 4-6-3 that we saw in the bottom of the third. He was late on O'Born, now late on Endomenico. 1-2 pitch, ground ball right to Stalker. He misses it, and it gets past Fry on the backup. Hard hit ground ball misplayed by Austin Stalker. Another error, Ben. Do we even need to say it? Count it. Make it 6 on the night.
I mean, either we say it or we think it, so might as well speak our mind. Yeah, you know, ball was hit pretty well, but
that's a ball you have
yeah.
to field. And unfortunately, this has just been an issue for the Cropdusters all season. Stalker came into tonight with 1 error. On the season, the Cropdusters entered this ball game with several errors. Number coming to you momentarily. It's Matthew Wesley at the plate. He's quickly down 0-2. Cropdusters entered with 8 errors on the season. 0-2, off goes Gonzalez, high ball. Throw down to second, not in time. Nice jump by Gonzalez. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs here for the big train. Go ahead run just 180 feet away from home plate. Matthew Wesley down 1-2.
Do not want to give that, let that error prove to be costly. That's what happened last inning.
And Domenico fires outside. Wesley lays off. It's 2-2.
But regardless, it leads to a lot more high-intensity pitches, just more pitches in general. Keeps the team out there. And, yeah, obviously I don't have to tell you why errors are bad. We all know it.
2-2. Deep drive out to left center. On the run goes Klein and Scott. Klein, it's over his head. He lost it. RBI double for Matthew Wesley. Errors proving costly for the Cropdusters. Another unearned run scored by the big train. This time it comes off the bat of Matthew Wesley.
Yeah, that's a hard hit ball, but I think that should be caught. I really do. Certainly a barrel, but Klein just never had a good read on it. Credit to Wesley for putting a good swing with 2 strikes, but I think a better tracked ball, and that's caught.
Klein obviously not traditionally out there. Would usually be Jaden Knight. Cropdusters now trail 3-2. Runner on second, still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Wesley now with 3 doubles on the season, just tallied his 6th RBI. Parker Corbin at the plate. 1-0 count, and Domenico goes home. Swing and a miss. Corbin ahead of the off speed. It's 1-1. Rough go for the Cropdusters defensively so far tonight. Last night the struggles were on offense. Tonight it's on defense. It seems like neither can really blend together cohesively for a dominant performance. Cropdusters now trail due to the errors and runs scored off them. 2-1 count. And Domenico, fly ball, center field, shallow. In comes Scott. He's racing, makes the play on the run. And the inning is over. Cropdusters relinquish another In the bottom of the fifth, it's now 3-2 Big Train. The Austin Stalker error on the hard hit ground ball by Emilio Gonzalez proves costly after Matthew Wesley drives the big lefty in. 3-2 Big Train as we head to the top of the sixth.
Just more frustrating baseball. And once again, they're going to have to come from behind. It's something that they haven't really been able to do the last couple of days, taking some unfortunate at-bats, but of course, a lot of game left. They have 12 outs to work with, but I mean, these last few innings have certainly not inspired confidence.
Certainly not. This Cropdusters team has just been incapable of touching Cole Ketchum in any sort of manner whatsoever. Ketchum has only relinquished one base runner on his own volition. It was a walk. He struck out 6. He's out for his 4th inning. He's pitched 3 1/3, or 3 2/3 rather. 4 2/3, my God.
Just keeps going on.
Why do you think I'm not a math major?
And this continues a dangerous trend for the Dusters. You saw it last night. Obviously, you know, you unfortunately were not with us, but the starter pitched 5 scoreless innings. Logan Bingham shut him out through 5. Then we saw it the previous night with, I believe his name was Ty Morris. He just totally shut out. I think he went 6 1/3, or he definitely. But just these starters are getting so much length. And time again, the Cropdusters are not making adjustments.
And we obviously know Ketchum came out of the bullpen, but he's almost
Same,
like
yeah.
the starter.
Just in terms of the amount of innings.
And obviously, Jack Ketchum wasn't doing poorly whatsoever. His defense wasn't necessarily helping him. He was pulled out due to injury. Cole Ketchum still on the bump. He's been absolutely stellar. No runs that he's allowed. Cropdusters have gone scoreless since the top of the second. It's Jimmy Kirk at the plate. He's 0 for 2, struck out his last time up against Ketchum in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. Changeup fools Kirk. Cole Ketchum completely confusing this Cropdusters lineup.
Kirk is here to provide a spark plug. Maybe he'll do something right now. I mean, Cropdusters need something to get going. Maybe he'll pop one.
They sure do. Olney has not tallied a hit since the top of that second inning. Cole Ketchum has not allowed a hit. It's been absolutely incredible from the righty. 2-1 count now to Kirk. Chopper, third base side. In comes Ponnet. Let's see if he can make the throw. He does. No guarantee tonight when it comes to fielding. That time, Logan Ponnet plays it cleanly. There's one away here in the top of the 6th.
So here's the guy who had the last hit for the Dusters.
Austin Stalker, hard line drive into center field, was initially called an error, then called a single. That happened in the top of the second. He let it off. Swing and a miss. Ketchum, fastball, just too much. Stalker can't get a bat on it. It's 0-1. Heater finds that part of the zone, inside corner. 0-2 count now to Stalker.
Really nice pitch, just kind of picked out the inside part of the plate.
It's been 18 batters since the Cropdusters recorded a hit. 0-2 to Stalker. Foul ball straight back out of play. Still 0-2.
And that's a decent 0-2 swing. You know, behind in the count, you get a fastball. You know, if anything, a bit of a mistake for someone who's just been throwing great pitches all night, a pitch that maybe Stalker would want back, but he took an aggressive hack at it. It's all you can really do.
0-2 count now to Stalker. Ketchum has 6 Ks tonight. Can he make it 7? The righty kicks, deals. Stalker not making it that easy. He fouls it off to the left side, out of play. Fans keep turning around to see if their car is in danger. There definitely isn't a whole lot of grace between the parking lot and the stadium.
Yeah, choose your spot wisely.
It's 0-2 now to Austin Stalker. 1 for 2 tonight. That one skips in the dirt, off speed. Murphy watches it go by, as does Stalker. It's now 1-2.
Stalker has turned this into a decent at-bat, and I like the swing on the 0-2 off-speed pitch. He kept the bat in the zone for a while, so even though he was a little bit fooled by the pitch, because the bat was in the zone, he was able to still foul it off.
1-2 count, 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Big Train lead the Cropdusters 3-2. Cole Ketchum set, exhales, kicks and deals. Fastball low, and Austin Stalker has made it a 2-2 count. Fouling off 2 pitches to stay alive here in this at-bat. A really solid at-bat from the lefty.
We know how frustrated he was with himself, and maybe even with Ketchum following his last at-bat. He wants to end this one on a high note.
Rolled over a changeup his last time up. Was hit straight back to Ketchum. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base side. Pontick can't field it. Austin Stalker, round in first. He's heading to second base. Throw, safe. Austin Stalker. We're waiting to see if it's going to be called an error or not.
I'm calling it an error. I am calling it an error.
It'll pop up on the scoreboard in just a few seconds. I'm going to call that a hit, Ben. Hard hit down the line. Still no official ruling whether or not it's an E5 or a stand-up double for Austin Stalker is TBD. And there's still no update from the scoreboard.
A lot of
so we'll hold
deliberating.
off. Zakai Hawkins stands in. Stalker's on second. Cropdusters down 1. Fastball inside, and they call it an error on Logan Ponnet. Make that 2 for the third baseman to go alongside 2 for Brennan Wright at short.
I think the problem is the ball was right at him, and he goes for the big Ole hop. It's tough. It's a tough skill to have instead of just fielding it in front of you and knocking it down.
I'll tell you right now, Ben, I think there's some home field bias going on from the Big Train scorekeeper.
Saving the ERAs.
Saving the ERAs, lowering the whips, and statistically, Cole Ketchum has still not recorded a hit.
It would be an issue, especially if if there were no hits and somehow the no-hitter prevailed, but still not great with 2 hits.
Not at all. 7 errors so far tonight. Zakai Hawkins up 3-0 in this count. Austin Stalker on second. Hawkins reached on an error by Brennan Wright his last time up. No surprise there.
We call it like we see it.
Shows bunt, pulls back, called strike. Sloppy ball game, and it's crazy that it's only 3-2. Considering the copious amount of base runners we've had, things have slowed down on the Cropduster side since Cole Ketchum came in. 3-1 count to Zakai Hawkins. Checks on Stalker, now goes home. Hawkins, weak fly by into right. Out goes Corbin, he makes the play. Stalker will hold at second. Nice coverage by Parker Corbin on the blooper off the bat of Zakai Hawkins. There's 2 away here in the top of the 6th.
And it sets up Angel Santiago Cruz, who's been up in 2 big spots. In that first at bat, he hit the chopper that led to the run scored, and then he struck out on a high fastball in his last at bat. He saw a high, dose of the high fastball in that last at bat, never really able to make an adjustment.
Santiago Cruz has been in some big spots so far this season for the Cropdusters. Had a chance to walk it off against the DC Grays just 2 nights ago. Was retired. A chance to tie things up here. Ground ball, first base side. Gonzalez fields cleanly. Toss to Ketchum, and the inning is over. Angel Santiago Cruz 0 for 3 tonight, and Cole Ketchum still a clean scoreless sheet for the right-hander. Bottom of the 6th, still 3-2 ball game here from Shirley Povich Field in Potomac, Maryland.
And just more of the same for the Dusters. I mean, it was a nice at-bat from Stalker, put a good swing on it, but just in general, this Cropduster team cannot find ways to string hits together. You know, even in that 12-inning game when they had the big hits, it was Hawkins with big doubles. It was never, you know, here's a single and then a double. They were not consistent, able to string knocks together.
This is a Cropdusters lineup that has been gifted, and I mean gifted base runners tonight via errors. But when it comes down to the basics of baseball, you knew this when you played, I knew it. When you were 8 years old, it was pitch, hit, and run. Right now, the Cropdusters have pitched well, they've ran well, but they haven't hit well. Only 2 base hits tonight for Olney, and they've stranded several base runners and several gifts from a big train team that even journalists know is relatively feared. Cropdusters came in losing 2 straight. This has been a prime chance for them to get something going offensively, and so far they've come up relatively short.
I'll see your baseball idiom and raise you another one. Defense, defense, defense. Another term that I would hear a lot as a kid. And like you said, the pitching's been good, but the mistakes that we've seen, you know, in consecutive innings, it's really that simple. That we've seen errors in back-to-back innings, and in both those innings, it's led to Indomenico giving up a hit.
3rd time's the charm. Rule of 3s. I'll give you one more. Defense wins championships. Coach Adam Leader gave 3 goals for the season. The 3rd one, win the whole thing. You can't win the whole thing when your defense is playing like this. Cropdusters have some cleaning up to do. And Domenico back out for his 3rd inning of work. First pitch called strike to Josh Goronski, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Struck out against Domenico his first time up. Swing and a miss. Off speed, Goronski chases, and Domenico moving snappy, and quickly it's 0-2.
I mean, in consecutive innings, it's simple as that. Indomenico did what he needed to get out of an inning clean, but errors just kept him out there.
Goronski lays a bat on that one. Shallow center field. Hawkins out from short. He makes the play. 3 pitches, 1 out. On the fly out to Zakai Hawkins, there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th.
Whenever I see that name, I keep thinking of Ben Skoranek. You know, where's he these days?
That's you know the meme, or like the meme with the line from Star Wars? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Foul ball off
Rams
the bat of
legend.
Dylan Murphy. In case you were wondering, Ben Skoranek is on the Steelers.
Wow. Aaron Rodgers is a big weapon.
2 straight foul balls.
Heads up!
Murphy over to the right side.
Sorry about that, but we got some little kids, and I do not know if they're that aware of they're in the danger zone.
Ben playing Superman. I'm still running my mouth. It's 0-2, 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Dylan Murphy has reached base safely twice tonight. Fastball outside, called ball. Was awfully close. A loud explanation from one of the Cropdusters players saying, yeah, insinuating it was a strike. Called ball, 1-2 count now to Murphy.
Simple as Parker Redden did not have to move his glove at all. Usually that means it's going to be a strike 3.
Chopper, right back to Domenico. He knocks it down, throws to first, got him. Torrey and Domenico doing it himself. Knocks down the chopper, steps off the mound, fields it cleanly, and fires it to Austin Stalker at first base. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th.
And Peltier had that big base knock in his last at-bat, tying the game at 2.
He's 1 for 2 tonight with that base knock. It was an RBI double. Shows bunt first pitch, pulls back, called ball. Guessing it was outside. Obviously a little bit difficult for us to see. But it looked awfully close from here, Ben.
Yeah, I'm just trying to read based on the catcher's reaction and see what
Peltier
Reggie-
lays on a bunt. Santiago Cruz charging in it. Tails foul. A ball and a strike. Peltier trying to use his speed to get on. It's 1-2. One and one. Off speed outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Oh, yo, it's Homa. It's Homa. And Bunty. Let's go say hi to the homies.
2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss.
Really nice change up there.
And Domenico, everything snapping for him now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. He's got 1 batter left in his 3 innings of work. He's been firing on all cylinders. Alex Peltier at the dish. 2-2 count. And Domenico. Foul ball. Over to the right side. Getting awfully close to some windshields.
My goodness.
It's hard to stop hinting at it. We know we've kind of beat a dead horse. But there have been some close calls. 2-2 count. And Domenico goes home in the dirt. Fastball misses. Count worked full, 3-2.
Unfortunate for Domenico. Hasn't given up any earned runs, but, you know, if the score stays as it is, he's in line to get the loss.
And Domenico has just walked 1 batter so far tonight. He came into tonight with 2 walks on the season. Peltier fouls off the heater. Still 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Alex Peltier.
Domenico does not want to lose this batter.
Payoff pitch. Deep drive into left center. On the run goes Scott. Looking up off the top of the wall. Klein relays it to second. And Alex Peltier has a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Wow, and obviously, you know, that's a great piece of hitting, but Peltier a little unlucky there. I mean, he literally hit it to the deepest part of the stadium. He hit it to left center where that, just over the scoreboard where the fence has an extra probably 10 feet to it. Super unlucky for that not to be a homer.
Nice cut by Peltier. Just finished his freshman season at ECU. Had not tallied a home run so far this summer. Obviously, that one a double. Did hit 2 at East Carolina this past season. So he's got some pop. Stand-up double with 2 outs brings on Brennan Wright. First pitch to the lefty is low. He takes 1 ball, no strikes. So 2 doubles now as well for Alex Peltier. He's been the Big Train's biggest spark offensively. 1-0 count. Redden calls time. Home plate umpire walks out to the mound.
Some action in the Dusters bullpen. Looks like Gavin Lill is not necessarily getting loose as he's more prepared for the 7th inning.
Lill
But-
has been relatively lights out when we've seen him.
But it seems like Sean Roseman was at least a little earlier getting ready if the inning. He's just kind of standing up. They trust in Domenico, but preparing for
pitch
something.
in the dirt. You've got to wonder. Cropdusters really went with some stellar arms tonight, and they have some stellar ones standing. Who might come in rather might depend on how the offense performs in the top half of the 7th. I'm sure they don't want to use their closer when trailing. 3 straight balls to Brennan Wright. Fastball upstairs makes it 3-0.
But it also makes it clear just how badly they want this game. I mean, the 2-game skid is not ideal. Losing 3 of the last 4 is not where they want to be following their great start. they want to stop the bleeding right now.
And Domenico can't stop it in that at-bat. Brennan Wright, 4-pitch walk. And after a clean first two batters faced here in the bottom of the sixth, Torrey and Domenico walks one and allows a double. Two aboard for Peyton Steele, who's 0 for 3 tonight, has faced Domenico once, grounded out to Stalker in the bottom of the fifth.
I'm surprised to see Adam Leader come out because no one is ready.
You imagine this might just be a traditional mound visit.
Usually it's been Coach Evans to do the mound visits, but Leader doing the changes, but maybe just trying to hype up his man.
We saw, or you told me rather, Leader really took command yesterday after the loss, was relatively fired up after the performance. Obviously the Cropdusters were shut out 9-0. Maybe he's starting to take a little more control and try and invigorate and empower his players. Obviously Mike Evans very good at that, but having your head manager come out and do it sends a different message. And Domenico stays out. He'll face Peyton Steele. Big spot here. Dusters trying to keep it a one-run game as we head to the top of the seventh.
Steele's really struggled today.
2 strikeouts and a ground out to first. Came into the evening hitting .286. First pitch fastball just outside. A ball, no strikes.
You heard a lot of yeahs after threw that pitch. The infielders wanted that to be a call, but Domenico just not really getting the 50-50 calls right now.
He's guessing heads, umpire flipping tails. That one finds the zone, near identical heater. Coin flip goes Domenico's way there. It's 1-1. A ball and a strike. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. In comes Scott. Rounding third goes Skoronski. He's in there safely. 4-2 ball game. Bethesda has tallied a run in 3 straight innings and can add another. Wright advancing to second. Steele taking over at first.
Peltier just flew around the bases there. I mean, even if Scott threw an absolute missile, there was no shot he was going to get Peltier. And just bad to worse for the Cropdusters as now they trail by 2 in a game that once looked like they could have really took an early commanding lead.
First pitch swinging for Ponnet, infield fly. Under it is Fry, makes the play, inning over. Cropdusters relinquish another. This time it's not the error bug that kills them. It's 4-2, big train. All the momentum, they're chugging along as we move into the 7th inning.
If I'm not mistaken, it's been 3 straight innings with a 2-out knock to score a run. And that's something we just haven't seen from the Cropdusters. It is that clutch hit. It's been lacking these last couple games, and when you get into crunch time, it's something you definitely notice more and more because the at-bats get bigger, and that's when you need someone to step up, and we're not really seeing it right now.
It's been a rough go since the 2nd inning for Olney. Bats just not clicking. They finally had something going in the top half of the 6th after Austin Stalker reached on an error, but just unable to capitalize continuously.
Continues to just be a real struggle to just get anything going.
And it looks like Cole Ketchum's night is done. New arm for the big train. We'll get you who it is momentarily. It's Connor Lehman, another SEC guy for the big train. He's initially from Tennessee, attends Alabama, just wrapped up his freshman year where he posted a 14.54 ERA in 9 appearances, pitched 4 1/3, allowed 7 hits and 7 earned runs, walked 3, struck out 4. Opponents hit .333 against him. So Cropdusters will see a different angle, more favorable to the righty-dominated lineup. They'll get a left-handed pitcher with 9 outs remaining, only trailing by 2.
So they go back to Alabama, man.
It's been nothing but SEC tonight for the Big Train, just showing off their stellar roster. Lehman has appeared in a game so far this season for the Big Train, allowed 3 runs in 1 innings pitched. First pitch swinging for Parker Redden, fouled back, it's 0-1. Lehman works with a 2-pitch combo, fastball at 93, curveball at 79. Stark contrast in the velo category.
We've seen some relatively solid velocity, but at most 91, maybe 92. And some of that's been from the Cropdusters. I don't think we've seen the Cropdusters face anything, 93 or 93 plus.
2-1 count.
Only 3 walks in 4 1/3 at Alabama this year, but struggling early.
Parker Redden, a chance to reach base safely for the first time this season. He's got his best count of the year, 3 balls, 1 strike. He's 0 for 2 tonight. And Parker Redden, after 12 at-bats, finally reaches base. It comes on a walk to lead off the top of the 7th.
So exactly what the Dusters needed. First, seeing a new face and the leadoff base runner. So Kel, chance to kind of keep it going now. Another ball upstairs. I think it's gotten to the point where you got to think about taking a strike.
Lehman struggling with location early. It's Redden on first. Kel at the dish. Fastball rolled over third base side, out of play.
Kel's hit the ball relatively well in 2 at-bats, but neither time with any lift on it. Both ground balls. 1 error and then 1 ground out to shortstop.
Ball and a strike. Kick, deal. In the dirt. Kel did not go around. A bit of a gift by the first base umpire. I thought for sure he swung.
As did I. It's been, these umpires have been a little bit iffy on the check swings all year. Sometimes not necessarily expecting to be asked.
2-1 count. Fastball upstairs. Kel takes well over his head. 3-1 count. Lehman really struggling to locate. Top of the order due up. Go ahead run so long as Kel reaches safely in the on deck circle. The 3-1. And Andrew Kel draws the 5-pitch walk. Back-to-back walks for the Cropdusters. And Murphy will go out to chat with Connor Lehman after 2 straight balls on bases.
And not necessarily pitches that are close, just well up in the zone, and another not particularly tall man in Aiden Fry. He's got to find a way to get it down.
Fry is 0 for 2 tonight, was hit by a pitch in the top of the first to lead off the ball game. Has struck out his last 2 times up, but that was against Cole Ketchum. Now he faces a lefty. And we think about extra base hits. Fry has a pair of doubles. He's only got 3 hits this season, but 66% of them have been for extra bags. He does have an RBI key spot. Parker Redden on second, not the fastest guy, but Andrew Kel behind him can absolutely fly. Aiden Fry can fly, and then the man in the on-deck circle, Brian Scott, has some wheels to him as well. So Cropdusters definitely on the charge here. Their best scoring chance since the second inning where they tallied 2 runs.
The bunt is certainly a play, but I think you gotta wait for a strike.
It's a play, but you've also got to lay it down perfectly with Redden on second, ensure that he gets to third with no force. First pitch to Fry. Lehman kicks in, deals, he shows bunt, gets it down. Gonzalez comes up to throw, first base. He's out. The first baseman, Emilio Gonzalez, delivers a rocket to Parker Corbin at first. Beats Aiden Fry by half a step. Successful sacrifice. There's now 2 men in scoring position with 1 away here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, I understand them not having him take a strike there just because you want to make sure you can get the bunt down. It ended up being a strike, and he delivered a beauty. Aiden Fry did his job. Chance for that clutch hit.
Brian Scott, the man given the opportunity. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single. He's also walked. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0 count. It's Rudden on third, Kell on second. Scott, foul ball, right side, out of play.
Somehow missing a car.
1-1 count, 1 away. Roan Klein waits in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 3. From the windup, Scott takes the fastball. He's down 1-2.
I think he thought it was a little bit on the inside part of the plate, maybe a little bit, even more in, but called a strike. Big strike, too.
1-2. Scott, ground ball. In comes Corbin. Field, throw to first in time. Redden comes in to score. RBI ground out for Brian Scott. Lead cut in half. It's now 4-3 Bethesda after Cropdusters score their first run in 5 innings.
So they get a run, but still looking for the clutch hit.
It's Roan Klein standing in for Olney. Runner on third. Tie and run. Klein, first pitch, strike. Watches it go by. Jimmy Kirk, the designated hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. From the windup, Klein takes, called ball, just missing outside. It's 1-1. Lehman working quickly. He goes home. Sky down the first baseline. Corbin under it. Makes the play. And the inning's over. Cropdusters tally 1 after the RBI ground out from Brian Scott. 4-3 ball game as we begin to stretch here at Shirley Povich Field.
2 walks to start the inning, but no hits to tie the game. Scott able to get 1 in, but just still unable to get a base knock.
Cropdusters have not had a base knock, as we said, since the top of the 2nd inning. Yes, you heard me right. The Cropdusters have not tallied a hit in 5 innings, courtesy mainly of Cole Ketchum, but now also Connor Lehman, who walked the first 2, but retired 3 straight to end the inning, only allowed 1 run. Key spot for Gavin Lill, who comes in for the Cropdusters, trying to keep this a 1-run ball game. It'll be 4-5-6 for Olney next time up. Right now, of course, Bethesda coming to the plate with 4-5-6 of their own. Or 5-6-7 rather. Gonzalez, Wesley, and Corbin.
And like we discussed, it's more the same for these relievers. It's about damage control. They're down by 1. You got to keep them there. It's a little bit demoralizing as a pitcher, but that's just the reality of the scenario in this bottom of the 7th inning.
Lill will go 7, 8, and 9 if necessary. Cropdusters trail by 1. They finally broke their streak of not leading. Came in the 2nd inning, went all the way to the 6th, where Bethesda took its first lead. Cropdusters trying to mount a comeback. We saw them do it a few times early on in the season. Came back against the Giants, came back against the Braves. Now a chance to do it against the big train, riding a 2-game losing streak.
And you know, if Lehman stays in the game, then then the chance will be there. I mean, we saw the command issues in that inning, walking 2 guys. If that continues, and they're able to get free base runners, there'll certainly be options for the Cropdusters to find ways to score.
Nobody up right now in the Bethesda bullpen. Gavin Lill standing in for the Cropdusters. He's got a 2.45 ERA and 3 2/3 innings pitched this season. 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Also recorded a win at Metro South County just 2 short days ago. 3 short days ago, rather. Lill stands in. Fastball, curveball, changeup, cutter. He faces Emilio Gonzalez. Loses control of that here. It sails over Gonzalez's head. A ball and no strikes. Gonzalez is 0 for 1. He's reached base safely on 2 errors. One by Roan Klein, the other by Austin Stalker.
Tough call on that slider. Not again. You heard the yes, but he called it. Goes in favor of Bethesda.
2-0 count to Emilio Gonzalez. Lill, fastball fouled right back. First strike for Gavin Lill of the evening, as night has completely befallen upon us as the clock strikes 9:13.
Get you a man who can do both. Gavin Lill, yesterday in the booth, today on the bump.
They say tomorrow I'll be on the bump. It's just going to be a constant rotation, and I think you'll be starting on Saturday.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah.
When does one of us DH for Jimmy Kirk?
Maybe you'll DH tomorrow,
All right.
and I'll pitch.
Sounds good.
We'll talk to Leader after the game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they drop this one, somebody's got to change. Maybe, you know, a little, get some fresh ideas, some fresh swings.
Gavin Lill losing control.
Some wild misses there.
Some wild misses, 2 over the head of Gonzalez, who stands 6'4", and then that one just a bit outside.
Sources are telling me that he spent too long trying to perfect his commentary voice instead of actually throwing. So it may be just that one at bat to get him back settled in, and now he'll be more locked in on the bump.
He's facing a righty now, more favorable matchup. It's Matthew Wesley. Had an RBI double his last time up. He's got Gonzalez on first. First pitch, that one finds the zone. Fastball right down Broadway. Gavin Lill up in the count 0-1.
Sorry about that. Mini earthquake just got us here.
0-1. Lill, set, kicks, deals. Cutter
Really
finds
nice.
the zone. Beautiful cutter. That's his best pitch.
You can see Wesley he puts his foot down. He expects it to kind of be in on the hands, if not even hit him. Next thing you know, it cuts into the zone, and it's a perfect pitch to get ahead on 0-2.
0-2 count. Lill, set, lifts his leg, goes home. Fastball outside. Gonzalez still at first. There's nobody out. One-two count. Lill, set. Chopper. In comes Fry. He misses it. Aiden Fry overran the baseball. Gonzalez heads to third. Count it up, folks. Make it 8 combined errors for both teams. 4 for the Cropdusters as Aiden Fry overruns the ground ball. Basics proving to be too challenging for the Cropdusters.
Yeah.
They keep shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, just as a pitcher right now, it is got to be so incredibly frustrating. You throw a good pitch, that maybe a double play probably hit too softly, only going to get the out at first. But now it's first and third, no outs, and he's going to steal second if the infield is in. And just Yeah, it's it makes you feel like you have to strike guys out, which is never how a pitcher should feel because you throw a routine ground ball and the play's not made. What does it make you think as a pitcher?
Nothing against Matthew Wesley. They were not going to get Gonzalez at second to turn two, but the play was still there for Wesley at first. He doesn't have the best set of wheels on him. Obviously, the fantastic hitter. He's the DH for a reason. Fry had time. He just completely overran the ground ball. There's now runners on the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, also lets the runner go to
Corbin at the
third.
plate. Corbin takes strike one. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a walk. Middle infield pinched. Santiago Cruz and Stalker normal depth. Stalker holding Wesley at first. 0-1 pitch. Skied high and out of play. It's 0-2.
And I can speak from experience. Unfortunately, it does kind of lead to a shift between the position players and pitchers. And of course, this team is close, and that is something you hope would be resolved quickly. But just as it stands, I'm sure that there's going to be some frustration at the lack of competency.
Runner goes. No throw down to second. Delayed steal by Matthew Wesley.
But a big out.
0-2 count to Parker Corbin. He went down swinging. Key strikeout for Gavin Lill. There's one away at the bottom of the seventh. Infield comes in to get the runner at home. It's Skoronsky at the dish. First pitch strike right in the middle of the zone. It's 0-1. Nice cutter from Lill. Wesley's on second. Gonzalez is on third. Lill. Swing and a miss. Slider low in the zone. Skoronsky chasing. And Lill, he's doing it himself right now. 0-2 count. Struck out Corbin on 3 straight. Got a chance to do it again. Fastball a little high.
Really nice 0-2 pitch. After the slider, you go fastball. It scares you as a hitter, think you're going to have to foul it off, but really nice take as well. But now we can go back to the off-speed or try to freeze him with a fastball.
A ball and 2 strikes to Skoronsky. Breaking ball upstairs. It was close, might have just broken a little too late. It's still 2-2.
Lill trying to keep it to still a 1-run game.
Lill. Fastball in the dirt. And John Skoronsky has fought back from being down 0-2 to make the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, payoff pitch incoming.
A walk here does not kill you. First base is open. It gets the force out at home, and the double play is a possibility.
3-2 pitch. Lill. Foul ball off Skoronsky's back leg. He lives to see another. Nice breaking ball by Lill, trusting his control on the full count.
It would just be a little more frustrating to walk him, given the fact that he was up 0-2. But just in terms of situation, first base being open, it is actually a walk situation.
9-hitter and Dylan Murphy due up for the big train. 3-2 pitch, fouled back once more. Skoronsky not making it easy. It's still 3-2.
Good pitch there from Lill. Almost beat him there, but good play coverage to get to that outside pitch.
Infield in. Gonzalez on third. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off once more. Heck of an at-bat from Josh Skoronsky. Starting down 0-2, working it back to 3-2, and then fouling off 3 straight.
Lill not putting away with the fastball. I wonder if with every foul ball he becomes a little more interested in throwing that slider.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat incoming. Lil kicks, deals. Make it 10. That ball hard hit right down the line, out of play.
He went to the off speed, and Skronsky was ahead of it, but location too high, always going to be a pitch that's going to be hit.
We'll run it back once more. 10th pitch of the at-bat. 3-2. Lil. Skronsky, ground ball. Hawkins goes home, and Gonzalez is in a rundown. Redden chases him back to third. Toss to Santiago Cruz. Key out for the Cropdusters as Emilio Gonzalez gets trapped in between third and home. Heads up play by Sakai Hawkins, even after bobbling it initially on the transfer, staying composed and firing a laser to Parker Redden. If Gonzalez didn't freeze, he might have had the jump.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good play.
I don't know why Gonzalez. When the Gonzalez freeze, it was over because he's gonna get into a rundown. He's never gonna get out of it. I think it would have been a very bang play at home, and it definitely would have had a better chance of making it as opposed to just forcing yourself into a rundown. But of course, Lil and the Cropdusters will take it.
It's honestly probably the best thing that could have happened for this team. They get rid of the guy on third. Man on second stays. They get an out. Obviously, the ideal situation is turning two, but it's hard when there's no force. But that's got to be the second best option. There's now only one in scoring position. You get the out, and you have the 9-hitter Dylan Murphy, who's 0 for 2 tonight, has reached on an error. He's down 0-1. Lil, set. Goes home. Upstairs, heater. Misses. Well over the head of Murphy. It's Skronsky on first. Wesley's on second. Gonzalez was just thrown out. And a run down between third and home. The 1-1. Cutter, upstairs, not there.
Yeah, you do not want to walk the non-hitter now to face Alex Peltier, who's been the best hitter so far for, either side. He's got 2 hits and a walk, including that double that was so close to being a homer.
Got a pair of extra base knocks tonight. Murphy skies it. Center field. In comes Klein. On the run is Scott. Klein will take it. Makes the play. And the inning's over. After the first 2 reach base safely, Gavin Lill does what he does best and gets out of the jam. 2 runners stranded for the big train here in the bottom of the 7th. It stays a 4-3 ball game. Cropdusters a chance to tie things up or take the lead in the top of the 8th.
Really, really impressive and gutsy pitching from Gavin Lill. First and third, then second and third, 1 out. Nowhere to put him. And he pounds the zone with good pitches. And just like that, he found a way out of it and keeps the Dusters within striking distance in this one.
Key spot for the Cropdusters. It'll be Kirk, Stalker, Hawkins due up for Olney.
Kirk yet to get going. I've heard such good things about the DH, and of course the numbers back it up. But so far, unable to do anything at the dish. 4th at bat, and again, just a swing away from tying this one up thanks to some great pitching.
Cropdusters need to get something going. A hit would be nice. Have not had one of those since the 2nd inning.
Just a hit.
You're going to need more if you want to keep this game going or walk away with a win. It's Connor Lehman back out for the big train as the righty for the Cropdusters struts on by grabbing an energy drink. First pitch swinging for Kirk. That ball's going to fall. Cropdusters have their first knock since the second, and it comes from the designated hitter, Jimmy Kirk, the veteran, his first knock of the season, but a familiar sight for Olney fans.
Yeah, you know, like you always say, you real Olney fans are very familiar with seeing that for the fourth year, Kirk getting on base for the Dusters. You know, if they start a Hall of Fame or start retiring numbers, I think he's got to be the first one too.
Kirk now on first for Stalker. Breaking ball outside, bobbled by Murphy, called ball. It's 1-0.
Stalker's hit the ball hard twice. Got to second on the air.
Swing and a miss. Stalker ahead of the breaking ball. Count squared, 1-1. Lehman has the velocity. It's just been a matter of control so far. 1-1 pitch. Stalker shows bunt. Can't lay it down. It's been a problem for these power hitters for the Cropdusters all season. Not a lot of them too familiar with bunting. We saw Klein struggle against the Grays, and Stalker has struggled prior.
Stalker did have a nice bunt, I believe, in that 12-inning game. It was a situation where he was able to get the sack down. But yeah, a lot of velocity. It's different. It's tough to bunt against someone with the speed he's throwing at. Now he's in a tough situation.
That one inside gets away from Murphy. Kirk advances to second. The big man taking a base on the wild pitch. And they're saying it hit. No, they're not. I thought he was taken off the Evo. Showed he was not.
So another situation where the Dusters don't even necessarily need a hit. A ground ball here with one, just pull a ground ball. You get Kirk to third, and then you just need a fly ball, and you got a tie ball game.
It's a 2-2 ball game, or 2-2 count rather. 4-3 ball game here in the top of the eighth. Stalker watches fastball upstairs. Count worked full, 3-2. Kirk's on second. Stalker, line drive into center field. Peltier right there. Kirk retreats back to second. He will not tag. Hard hit ball from Austin Stalker. He's had a couple of those as of late. None of them have fallen his way. And there's one out here in the top of the eighth. Really nice contact, especially on a lefty-lefty matchup.
It just sort of feels like when things aren't going right, they're not going right. I mean, the Dusters aren't hitting. Stalker puts a great swing on a ball, but of course it goes right to the center fielder.
Right now is clutch time. Zakai Hawkins rolls it to second base. He's thrown out. Kirk advances to third base. There's two quick outs here in the top of the eighth. And in comes Onel Santiago Cruz. Cropdusters at risk of stranding a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Kirk now stands on third. Santiago Cruz 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch fastball in there, strike one.
His timing there, you can see he put his foot down a little bit late. He's going to have to really make an adjustment on this 0-1 if he's going to be able to be on time on that heater.
0-1 pitch. Santiago Cruz, check swing, called strike anyways. It's 0-2. He's going to have to battle here. Lehman working fast. The 0-2 pitch. Chopper. Corbin bobbles it. Throw to first. In time. Beat him by a step. Santiago Cruz doesn't like the call, but it matters not. Cropdusters strand their first base runner, or first base hit reached player in 6 innings. He advances to second with nobody out, and Connor Lehman retires 3 straight, keeps it a scoreless top of the eighth. Big Train maintain their 4-3 lead.
We talked about it a couple innings ago. the game's gonna get later, and they're gonna need a clutch hit, and they just have not gotten it yet. And once again, same situation for Gavin Lill. Need a way to just keep the Dusters down 1.
Gavin Lowe back out for a second of potentially 3 innings. Dusters down to 3 outs. They trail by 1. It's Alex Peltier, leadoff man, to get things started here in the bottom of the 8th.
And we sound like broken records, but it's another game where the pitching has done its job. I mean, 4 runs in 7 innings in a league where scoring often just comes, fast is nothing to, turn your head at.
First pitch called strike. Nice cutter from Lil. He's up 0-1. Peltier, we said it last inning when he was on deck. 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of doubles. Nearly hit one out in the bottom of the 6th. Shows bunt, pulls back. It's 1-1. Arm getting loose. Or a couple guys just throwing for the Cropdusters. Nobody seriously warming up.
Ben Berger saying aware, though.
Line drive, base hit down the right field line. Cutting it off is Kell. Rounding first, heading to second. Peltier throw, not in time. Make it 3 doubles for Alex Peltier. This one coming on a laser down the right field line. Leadoff man aboard for the big train here in the bottom of the 8th. Brennan Wright stands in. He's 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a walk. Lil takes the signal. Comes set. Hawkins keeping Peltier honest at second base. Shows bunt. Lil coming off. Redden scoops bare hand. Throw to first in time. Nice play by Parker Redden. Showing off the athleticism. Jumping up from behind home plate, barehanding it on a hop, and in one fluid motion, tossing it to first base to throw out Brennan Wright.
Yeah, that was a really good play. And not an easy play at all. Kind of bent down, like you said, all at one. In one motion, went down, barehanded it, made the nice play. And now Lil, once again, has to do some clutch pitching.
Peltier advanced to third. There's one away. Peyton Steele at the dish. First pitch outside, slider. Breaks into the lefty's batter's box.
One of the positives from today, I've been really impressed with Parker Redden. We've been tough on him behind the plate earlier this year, but I thought he's done a great job today.
Fly ball, shallow right. In comes Cal. Tagging, throw home. Play at the plate. Not in time. Alex Peltier just too fast. And a sacrifice fly RBI by Peyton Steele. But I'm not sure if anybody is catching Peltier. He's just too much on the base paths.
He's rapid. And that's the 3rd run he scored. He also has an RBI. So he's part of 4 of the 5 runs for the big train.
Heck of a night for the center fielder. It's Logan Ponnett at the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's walked once. Lil from the windup. Goes home. Breaking ball. Rolled over. Lil coming off the mound. Stalker fields. Toss over to Lil. Tag. Lil missed the bag. Reached out to tag Logan Ponnet. Barely graces his chest. And the inning's over. Athletic play by Gavin Lil after a near catastrophe at first base. Wouldn't have been surprised, but Gavin Lil keeps his composure and gets the out.
Yeah, impressive play all the way around. Lil realizing that Slater was going to go to the ball, and he just broke to first right away, unable to make the tag. I mean, unable to make to find the first base, so he thinks, does not panic, and tags the runner.
It's a tough spot for Olney. The Cropdusters trail 2 here in the top of the 9th, down to their last 3 outs against the Bethesda Big Train.
We'll see if there'll be any pinch hitters, but right now it's Redden, Kell, and Fry.
Couple guys that gone on their last time up. New arm on the hill for the Big Train. Another lefty. We'll get you who it is momentarily. It's Adekide Adetuyi, redshirt freshman at FAU. Adetuyi this year appeared in 21 games down in Florida, pitched 15 innings, 8.40 ERA, struck out 15, walked 10. Opponents hit .355 against him. This season for the Big Train, he's appeared in 1 game, pitched 3 innings, allowed 2 hits and 1 earned run, walked 2 batters, struck out 4. Recorded the win in that game, has a 3.00 ERA. Works with a fastball, changeup, curveball combo, fastball mid-80s, changeup mid-70s, as is the curveball. He goes up against 8-9-1 for the Cropdusters.
But it looks like that's Carter Ritchie, if I'm not mistaken.
That is Carter Ritchie coming up cold. He's batting .500 on the season.
Funnily enough, there were some kids next to us who were saying Richie was walking down to the bullpen. They said, "Are you playing tonight? Are you the DH?" He said, "No, but I might get in that bat later." Guess he was right.
He called his shot then. He faces Adetuyi to lead off the top of the 9th. First pitch low, Ritchie takes 1-0. Carter Ritchie, 6 hits and 12 at-bats. He's also walked 4 times. That's a .500 average. Number 2 in the Cal Ripken League, only behind Jalen Brown of the Gaithersburg Giants. 1-0 pitch.
And Ritchie is not all about, getting base knocks. He's a very patient approach, and this is a situation where they need a base runner to get the tying run to the plate. He's someone who can work a walk as well.
He's got a 2-0 count. Adetuyi comes sets. Now goes home. Ritchie, upstairs fastball. He watches it go by. 3-0 count. Ritchie trying to be a spark plug here for the Cropdusters. 3-0 pitch. Inside, 4-pitch walk for Carter Ritchie, his 5th of the season. He'll trot down to first base. Tying run at the plate and Andrew Kell.
So that's not too shabby for Ritchie. Sits on the bench for 8 innings, comes in, takes 4 pitches, and just bumps up his on-base percentage.
That has got to be so nice. Coming off the bench after a day off of squatting behind the plate. Hefty lead for Ritchie at first. Kell watches the fastball go by. Strike 1, coats the outside edge.
Kell is a ground ball candidate. This is cannot hit into a double play here. Got to bust it if you do hit a ground ball. Second baseman is shaded towards the base. Chance to hit the ball in the hole.
Kell quickly down 0-2. He's watched 2 straight heaters. The right fielder is 0 for 1 tonight. He's reached base safely twice, once on an error, another on a walk. That came in the top of the 7th.
There was some plate on that 0-1 pitch. Kel, though, just clearly did not see it well.
He's down 0-2. Fastball tails outside, gets away from Murphy. Richie holds it first. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
He thought about it.
By the time he started to lunge, it was already a little too late. Dylan Murphy was already trotting towards the loose ball. Adetouyi still up in the count. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th.
For Richie, it would be nice if he was able to, get that force away at second base, but it's not worth the risk.
Swing and a miss. Andrew Cal down on strikes for the first time tonight ahead of the off-speed pitch. Cropdusters have 2 outs left. Aiden Fry coming up. It's the top of the order for Olney.
Took 2 fastballs in the zone. Did not have, a good look at either of them. Off-speed pitch comes in, and he is nowhere near it.
Adetouyi picks off Richie, who slides back safely. Still has yet to face Aiden Fry, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a pair of Ks. Swing and a miss. Adetouyi gets Fry ahead of the off-speed pitch. It's 0-1.
So after the 4-pitch walk, he's looked much better.
Definitely has gotten his control together. Swing and a miss. The curveball just too much for the Cropdusters. And Aiden Fry down 0-2. Completely whiffing on 2 straight breaking balls.
He can go wherever he wants to. He can go back to the off-speed or go to a heater.
Fry has not seen the fastball. That's where he goes, and he's down on strikes. Adetouyi confusing Aiden Fry. 2 straight Ks for the big train lefty. Cropdusters down to their final out. It's Brian Scott at the plate.
They call that pitching backwards, starting with the off-speed and then going to the heat later when he hasn't seen it. Just really tough to do anything with really nice pitching.
Adetouyi, another strike. Outside corner, he's painting it perfectly. Scott down 0-1. Breaking ball. Scott foul tip right into the glove of Murphy. And Adetouyi is absolutely dealing.
Scott was able to recognize breaking ball out of the hand. He kind of sat back and he still wasn't able to get anything on it.
No balls and 2 strikes. Adetouyi has struck out the last 2 Cropdusters. Make it 3! Adetouyi shuts down Olney in the top of the 9th. 3 straight strikeouts from the left-hander. And this ball game is over. The Cropdusters have now dropped 3 straight, 4 of their last 5 in the big train. Keep on rolling. 4 straight wins for Bethesda. They are looking like the team to beat right now.
That they are playing good baseball, pitching well, having some nice situational hits, and they grinded out this victory today.
And 3 runs allowed. Obviously the game ending 5-3. You would usually say great night for the pitching staff. But when you consider the amount of errors that the Bethesda Big Train had, that number could have been lower for the Big Train. They showed up big time tonight on the pitching mound. Defensively, they struggled. This could have been a 1-run outing for the Cropdusters had there not been 4 errors by the Big Train fielders.
Yeah, they did not walk a lot of guys. Only gave up 3 hits. I mean, it's a great performance. Like you said, yeah, easily could have been 1. Really impressive work from the pitching staff all night long. And, Cole Ketchum picking up where, unfortunately his brother had to leave off of and just did a great job.
Cropdusters in need of some soul searching. They've dropped 3 straight. A tough break here for Olney at Shirley Povich Field. The Cropdusters will be back in action tomorrow, and it doesn't get any easier for Olney. Tomorrow night, the Alexandria Aces, another juggernaut here in the Cal Ripken League. It's a home game. First pitch at 6:30. You can listen to Ben and I right here on Cropdusters Baseball YouTube, or you can join us at the field and stop by and say hello. But for Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick Kane saying so long and good night. The